Hello, Kelly. How are you? Give me one moment here. Boomer Raid. Oh my goodness. Boomer D. How are you doing? Fancy, how are you doing? Give me 1 second here. Christina, how are you? Give me just 1 second. Hello, Pam Syme. How are you? Keith, I'm getting ready to send it to you. Give me one quick second here. Okay. Mary, how are you doing? A.L. Skinner, how are you doing? Where is my computer? Hello, Zach. How are you doing, Zach 8? Give me 1 second here. Where did I put? I want everybody to get to know everybody real quick while I'm trying to figure something out. And I do apologize for this delay. So, Keith, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this link in the chat because I lost my phone part of my on my computer. So I'm gonna put the link in right there, Keith. If you can hit that link, that would be great. And as soon as you hit that link, I'm gonna get it off of there. I'm hoping everybody's having a wonderful and fantastic day, night, whatever it is you are. And before I kick this off, I got to kick this off to you also.
You share the thing? You sure?
Yeah, I give me 1 second here. Okay, there we go. Let me do this. I'm glad you said that, sweetheart. Let me do this. Okay. Give me a second here. And now I want to acknowledge everybody that's in here. Let me start this. Uh, Actually, my volume might be low, so let me redo my volume here. Okay. And let me start off with Christina and Son.
Acknowledge me.
Boomer D.
Acknowledge me.
Mary Bean.
Acknowledge me.
Fancy.
Acknowledge me.
A.L. Skinner.
Acknowledge me.
Mom of an Angel, aka Shelly.
Acknowledge me.
And did I miss anybody?
That
Zach. I forgot. I forgot about you, Zach.
Acknowledge me.
And of course, Kelly.
Acknowledge me.
And Pam Syme.
Acknowledge me.
And WTF Mike's in the house.
Acknowledge me.
You all have been acknowledged. I want to thank you all so much for being here. And now, please, let's give a nice, warm round of applause for my good friend, the one and only Keith, who has decided to come back.
Yay.
Thank you so much, Keith, for coming back. I know that you got a lot of things going on. And but again, I do thank you. Everybody that's in the chat, especially if you're new here in the chat, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you as part of our family. And make sure you hit that like button. We'd appreciate that even more, but we appreciate you even more than that. So without further ado, Keith, what's going on?
Same yard, different pile, buddy. How you guys doing down there?
We are, I'll tell you what, we're sweating to the oldies. Well, my wife is because I done got old. My birthday was on the 15th. I am now 62 years young.
Oh, mine was on the 19th. I just hit 50.
Hey, congratulations. Well, you know what? This calls for this then. We got to sing this. We gotta sing to Keith, everybody. It's his birthday. To you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Keith. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. And if anybody out there's got a birthday this week, or a belated birthday, happy birthday to you too. So, as a lot of you might not know, this is part 2 of where we left off at. And hopefully we can also squeeze Keith's wife in. That would be a joy. So just saying. Thought I'd put
Yeah, I
that.
think she's sleeping.
Oh, well, we don't want to wake her up.
Yeah.
How is she doing?
She's hanging in there. She's gotten quite a bit better from was it a couple weeks ago or whatever when she had to go in the hospital. She spent, oh man, I think it was a week in there. But as far as her dialysis stuff, she's got good news with that. They're actually reducing some of her medication, and she does the home dialysis stuff or whatever. And even though she's going to need the transplants and everything like that, the doctor had allowed her to take off a day a week from the dialysis. So that's God is good with that.
I am sorry to hear that though, because I just ran into this situation with my mom. My mom is ill, and she turned down dialysis.
Yeah, so she's gonna be.
Her kidneys are failing her as we speak, so she's just basically running on time.
Mm.
So I pray that your wife, if there's a donor, please, I pray that a donor comes in, and I wish nothing but the best for you and her. And I believe in prayer. I believe that prayer does work, and through God, all things are possible if you believe. And so I think she's going to be in good hands.
Hello,
Oh,
Nat.
absolutely.
Hello.
It's thank you to you guys, and thank you to everybody in chat. I'm sure she'll see this eventually, and that'll make her happy. So,
I hope so. And that's what we want to do. We don't want anybody to be down. We want to lift up their spirits, not put them down.
amen.
And on that note right there, we wish you a speedy recovery. We know you got this. So we're behind you. And I mean that to
Very
the
good.
So I'm trying to think of where we left off at.
Patty.
Little Patty, how are you doing? I got to acknowledge you too also. I am so sorry. So, little Patty, I'm going to acknowledge
Acknowledge me.
and
Natalie.
Natalie.
Acknowledge me.
Christina said, sorry, Eddie, my sister's boyfriend's mother just had to stop dialysis. It just wasn't working anymore. She has a few days now. Christina, you are also in our prayers. Yeah, and I just found this out about my mom, and then I understand why my mom did it, because she's 82 years old and she just, feels like dialysis is at her age,
Well,
there's
down
not really they
passes
can
you.
do, so, it is what it is as she feels, and she wants to be with my dad, and that's how I feel. So, but yeah, I just wish anybody out there that's going through this, I have nothing but love for you. We pray for you, and we pray that everything comes all right. And if through, like I said, through God, all things are possible, and just believe and have faith. Don't lose it. And
Oh, absolutely. The cool thing is with her, she's still young. She's younger than I am. And what I guess what they do now is now she's had diabetes since she was a kid. So this isn't like bad diet or anything like that. It just happened.
right.
And the cool thing is with it now, what they got her set up for is not only a kidney transplant, but a pancreas transplant. So if she gets a cadaver donor, what they will do is the double transplant. Basically, is she goes into the operating room with diabetes, she comes out without it. And, of course, you have to make sure everything's running right and all that stuff. And she's going to be on some pills or whatever for the anti-rejection stuff for the rest of her life. But man, she's got what, 28, 29 years almost to being a diabetic. So, I mean, it'll be a blessing to have that happen.
Right.
And she's good, for as long as the good Lord wills. But, it's a blessing within itself just to see how much technology has come. I
Yes.
mean, that's like I look at, some of my older relatives that had diabetes and it's, good luck. And,
Right.
but now it is insane. So just the technology within itself, God has given the people the ability to come up with this. That's unheard of 50
That's very
years ago.
true. That is very true. Spirit Stalker, welcome.
Acknowledge me.
And Sammy, welcome to the chat and welcome to the show.
Acknowledge me.
I'm gonna go back now. And we basically almost start over, but not start over. I asked some new questions, so that should be somewhat. And some of these are the same. I was going to ask you to tell a little bit about your background before we get into your Dogman encounter.
All right. So yeah, I'm 50, been dealing with dogmen since 91. Not every day, not every year, but yeah, I've seen my share of those for the past few years up until was it July of last year?
So, have you ever have you heard the legends about Dogman before this?
No, actually not really at all. I mean, I heard about the Bigfoot and stuff like that or whatever, but as
Mhm.
far as Dogman, I didn't know what Dogman was honestly until about 2023. I didn't know what they were. We heard werewolf and stuff like that, but as far as what they call them nowadays, I guess it's been renamed or rebranded or whatever, however you want to say it. But I was never really into it. I never really followed it. In our first meeting that you and I had, I
Right.
had talked about seeing the movie The Howling when I was a kid. Huge
Right.
mistake. Don't do it. But all those years, I knew there was something out there. There's a little voice in the back of my head somewhere going, they're real, they're out there. And up here in Michigan, oh, forgot something. Cheers from Michigan, everybody.
Yes. Cheers to Michigan.
Yeah. So yeah, I've always had a feeling that there was something out there and stuff, and lo and behold, yeah, I got shown some things. So, and I didn't even have to go out in the woods to see it. I just had to look out in my backyard. So
Mm-hmm.
it's been a trip. I mean, thank God I haven't been attacked or anything like that, or
So,
I've
where did your encounter happen?
my encounters, all of them happened in Western Oakland County up here in Michigan. That's where I live.
Mm-hmm.
And mainly they're in state park areas. I don't go out into crazy state land or anything like that, but just we have a couple parks up here in Highland Recreation area. A relative of mine, she's dealt with them in there. I haven't, but I've heard some stuff out there, and There's been a time or two where I've been out there with the dogs and have been stopped dead in my tracks, and that feeling in the back of your head goes, "Hey, you need to turn around right now." And that's where I left it. Now, with that being said, out here where I live now, the wildlife are friends with our pets. Basically, I got deer out here that'll play with the dogs.
Mhm.
Coyotes will come through the neighborhood and stuff like that, and nobody even bats an eye. So it's not like they're skittish to those type of wild critters or whatever. But something out there put us all right at a dead halt, and we had decided to vacate the area. Now, back in 23, it was July 3rd of 23, and it was a couple months before that, I think it was, that I had asked one of my relatives about this. And I said, "You live out in that area?" I said, "You by any chance heard of anything or seen anything out there?" And that's how I left it. I didn't say anything supernatural. I didn't say anything cryptid, nothing. You say, "Oh yeah, werewolves, they're out there, but nobody believes me. They're here." And then she went into quite a bit of detail as to how big they are, what they do. It's basically, I wouldn't say they stalk you, but yeah, they kind of watch from a distance. Now, when I mean a distance, it's less than 100 feet away. So
Right.
I guess that being said, I mean distance. Yeah. Some
Um,
people think some people think a quarter mile. Some people think close like that or whatever. So,
right.
but the cool thing with that area, out in that Highland Recreation area, a little bit of history for people. That used to be Edsel Ford's stomping grounds. He had
Hmm.
a mansion out there and everything like that, and a lot of underground tunnels. I didn't know about that, and it would connect different houses here and there throughout that property. Now, that property, granted, not all of it is uh, home front or anything like that, but it's like 5,900 acres. So for the area where we're at, that's pretty decent size. I mean, it's nothing compared to a uh, major state forest or a national forest by any stretch, but with what we're surrounded with out here,
Hmm.
it's suburban area or whatever. I mean, some farm country or whatever, but it's not like we're out in the sticks either.
Right.
But with that park, there's places in there. Swear to God, you walk 10 feet off of the trail into the woods, pick a direction, spin
Hmm.
around, spin around 3 or 4 times, and you're going to be calling for help to get out because you lost yourself. I mean, it is that thick. There's places in there where you don't have, if you're lucky, 2 to 3 feet visibility into the woods.
Really?
Oh, it's thick. I mean, it's, as I will with you and anybody in chat that has seen some of my shows that I've done with you or Bigfoot Rob or Tex or whatever, is I encourage people to look up the places if they're interested. They can
Right.
Google this stuff and they can look at it and see, okay, this is what I'm looking at. Now, back onto that, you got that either the text or email I sent you today, right?
Hmm. Yes.
Right. So that is the sacrifice house. Remember when I was talking about that 2012 Red Dawn thing?
Yes.
That's actually the house now and the shape that it's in. That's where that one scene is filmed, and that's where I've run across a lot of those uh the critters out there.
I want to show that video. Is that okay?
Absolutely. I hope. Did you get it on the email or the text?
Yeah, I got them both, email and
Oh,
text.
yeah, I think the email was a better quality,
It
and
is.
this is just a short 20-second video. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to show this.
Rabbit
There's
person.
some
Yeah,
there's some creepy shit, and then we'll get into that before we get into the rest of the encounters.
yeah, because I definitely want to um where are you? I no. No, that's oh yeah, you're right. Okay, so let me do this. Okay, so stop. Let me put it over here. And I'm going to okay. Now that I found it,
Not sure.
so let me. Okay, and this is the video that I want you to. I want everybody to check this out. This is what he was. This is what he's talking about right here. So, because I was looking at this place, and I'm like, wow, that'd be a nice place to camp. You know, out of the way. It's deep in the woods. Look at that.
That looks creepy.
That looks creepy.
That would give me the heebie-jeebies.
That's something
Yeah,
that paranormal movies are made from.
I got chills coming up and down my arms right now looking at that fucking place. That is as close as I will get to that place. Now, back on there, you see there's that the top windows
Mm-hmm.
that are facing the road or whatever, the two. There was one night, me and one of my buddies, we were just cruising around and we come back through there and, excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
and there was something standing inside of it. Hold on. But there was something standing inside of there with glowing blue eyes.
Really?
I didn't have a spotlight at the time, so it was just high beams. But, people go, oh, well, maybe it was reflectors. Reflectors don't blink and move around. Let's be clear on that.
Right.
And there were times, too, where there were boards busted out. Now, on the lower end there, that's in the front of the house that people could see that. I think that was a.
Oh, wait a minute. I'll go back to.
Yeah, there's a handful of windows. You could see it. Yeah. There's boards leaned up against it or whatever. There was stuff. Now, if people break into places, they'll smash it or whatever, but there were places in there, even up on those walls, that were pulled outwards, like something was coming out of the house. Now, I think I got into this on our first episode we did, where I talked about the live animal sacrifice. Excuse me, a dark entity had actually crawled out of the wall in the basement of this place.
Oh.
And the kids left it. And that was back in the late 90s when this happened. I didn't know about it until it was probably like 2004. I was talking to a lady about it. And she knew about the place, but she lived more closer to Detroit. Now, like right here, this is about 45 minutes away from Detroit.
Right.
And she was at the time probably 15 minutes from Detroit. She never came out in this area, but she knew about this place. She was in tune with some serious stuff. I mean, she wasn't Christian by any stretch. She was more into the pagan and the witchcraft voodoo type stuff, whatever you want to call it. But she knew about this place, what was done here, as far as the people who did it, when they did it, where they came from, who they were as far as names. And I don't remember them. I mean, I wouldn't say who they were anyway, if I knew. But
Right.
she knew all about the stuff that went on. And now my buddy, at that place right there,
Mm-hmm.
if I was to continue driving the way I was going, that goes out to one of the main side roads. I think it's called Pettibone or something like that. I think it's Pettibone. But you go up there to Pettibone, you turn left, you go up an eighth of a mile, you turn left again, you go about a half a mile. My buddies used to live right there.
Okay.
And so, one of my buddies that I had talked about and mentioned in the prior episode is he's right there. This is the one where a lot of this stuff started. So he's literally across the street from this stuff, because right from that point to the next road, which would be Milford Road, it's all woods.
So let me actually I want to read the chat first.
Sure.
Were the boys held up after the attack? That's what Boomer said. Hello, Betty Van Tassel. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm sorry, what did Boomer say? I missed it.
Boomer said that's where the boys held up after the attack.
Yes. Yep. Oh, from the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Uh, hello, Regina. How are you? Thank you so much for being here. Hello, Bad Monkey. I'm hoping that you are a good person. Um, but you're welcome here. So, I want to
Linda
ask
said
you.
it's the house that looks just like across the street from the trailer park that I used to live in.
Oh, hey, if that's how you live, that's how you live. At least you have a place over your head. Um, question though, what were you doing at the time that you saw one? What were you doing
Are you talking like the first time I ran across or back in that area?
back in that area?
Back in that area, we just drive around. I mean,
That's it.
even to this day, the wife and I like that. We'll just you got to get out of the house or something, and hey, let's just go drive around and BS. Maybe grab a soda or something, or something to drink, and that's it. That was when I first saw him in that area. Back then, it was just some friends of mine,
Mm-hmm.
and we're doing the same thing, driving around at night, bullshitting, getting philosophical about things, or uh, ideologies on certain things or whatever. Nothing crazy. Didn't really do anything that would warrant, we'll say, imperial forces to attend or anything. So,
Right.
um, yeah, that's all we did, and they just show up. It was weird. I mean, we heard about this stuff, and then like I said, that first time I saw him was out in that sledding hill, or I'm sorry, at my house, which was a couple miles away from that creepy ass place you just showed.
Right.
Now that house where you just showed, and when I mentioned that sledding hill, the first time I got within like 10 to 12 feet of one of these things when I was sledding in '94.
Right.
That's on that property. It's probably 200-300 yards away from there.
Oh,
It's
Wow.
it's yeah, all this stuff is in a very limited area. It's not a huge area. I'm not saying
Right.
all of it's there, but
Right.
and when I went down there, was it yesterday, I think is when I took that video.
Mhm.
Um, that was the first time I've gone that far down into those woods in two.
If
It's over a decade, we'll say that.
if we because I want to go to Michigan so bad. I'm gonna make that one of my I'm not even gonna say bucket list. When we go up to Ohio, Michigan is just right next door. So I want to make it a point to go there. I want to see that for myself, that house, but I got to go up to that house.
Yes, keep me posted, and then we'll hook up or whatever the case is, and
That's
I can show you some of the places. Now, like I said, I have that long COVID nonsense that's really wreaked hell on my body as far as the brain and nerves and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
I can't really go walking because it's kind of hilly back there. I
Right.
can't go walking around a lot, but I can do the outskirts. It's fine. But this past time I was there yesterday, it there I didn't pick up on anything from them guys.
Wow.
Which was it's interesting. They may move. I'm not sure. I mean, people say, oh well, you're not out in the, people say, well, you're not out in the woods or whatever, and how can they move across uh roads with people around? Well, it's quiet enough out in that area
Hmm.
that at certain points in the early morning, you can stand out in the middle of the road and have a conversation and not worry about hitting cars. So it's one of those places. So, and
Got
you got these things. They're like hide and seek champions. They know how
right.
to sneak around. They're not dumb. They're not, they're not going to go play in the middle of the road and wait for you to hit them or anything like that. So they can get around. They can get anywhere they want to. All they got to do is know when and how.
Um, Skull, how are you doing, Skull JG? So glad that you are here. And
he said I'm from Michigan also.
he said, I'm from Michigan also. So, hey, Michigan in the house, everybody. Glad to have you here. Did
Yep.
it?
If you're willing, if it whoever that was that said this, I'm trying to watch two screens here. But wherever they're at from Michigan, I'd be curious. They don't have to be specific or addresses or anything, but you know, what area roughly. I'd be kind of interested if they've seen anything or heard anything from their areas.
Um, if anybody in the chat has a question for Keith, please feel free to ask. I love learning this stuff. I love learning it because I know that there's something out there, whether it's Dogman, whether it's Mothman, whether it's Bigfoot, somebody's seen something. And that's why I'm learning. I want to know what they saw. That's why I got Keith up here.
Kevin,
007 Kevin, thank you so much for being here. Did
Right.
it
So that with go ahead.
did it make any kind of sounds?
I've heard some type of growling here and there. Oh, okay. I see where they're from. Yeah, you're 20 minutes from me, if that. I'm out in Waterford right now, so
Okay.
I was looking at the location. I don't know if I said I was just there actually. Yeah. Down at 12 Mile and Haggerty. Gotta love the Columbus Center for Medical. Shit, that too. I gotta be down there twice this week. Anyway, all right, enough bitching. But did they make any sounds? A reason why I don't get close to that house is I think it was 2004 after I'd had some, and like I said, 2004 was pretty busy as far as dogmen. No petty, no smell, no nothing on that. I just seen a question real quick. But I had gotten close to that house one time, and I'm not a mind over matter type person of I told you what went into that house. Now you go near that house and you work yourself up and get all creeped out. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that. But I had gone up closer to that house and I wasn't going to touch it, but I got within a couple steps of it. And it's like I heard kind of a growl, but I felt it more. And I think that was my first encounter with infrasound because it made me sicker than a dog. I mean, I got like instant wanting to vomit and everything like that, really nauseous, started burning up, sweating and everything. But the direction of it came behind me. So saying if I was walking up to that house and it was on that back corner of that house is where I was at, there was a door there.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever actually came from that direction of where the car you saw me in a car at. Because right to the left of that is just a guardrail and then probably a 40 or 50-foot steep embankment.
Wow.
So it was just that low that I don't know how to describe it other than maybe if it sound like an elephant or that rumbling sound that an alligator make that like that. It was like that,
Right.
but I didn't necessarily hear it through my ears as much as I felt it.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you about the smell. I'm glad you covered that.
Yeah, no smell. I've never had smell come from them. And crazy enough, even in the winter times when I've run across these things or when it's been cooler out, I've never seen breath from them.
Right.
So again, that goes right into that. Is this a supernatural thing? I don't know, a spiritual thing, whatever. Or is this something that it's something that has evolved with these things on a physical level
Right.
to keep them more concealed? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And Mom of an Angel had a question for you. She asks, has it been like a certain season that you have seen them or most likely seen them?
Let's see. In 2019, that was June. I don't remember what time in June. I don't remember exactly, but it was June. July 4th or July 3rd of last year. And I've also seen them in October. It was October 94. It's the week before Halloween. That's when my buddy got chased out of the swamp by one. And again, it from that house to where my buddy got chased out of there, maybe a third of a mile. Eddie, when you guys come up here, all this stuff is close. I could take you on the grand tour of this whole place, and we travel no more than a half a mile.
So are they within the vicinity of, it's like all the sightings within a certain
certain realm, like a
where
certain
they're linked into one, long, big area, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that area, again, if anybody wants to look it up, it's like Highland Recreation Area. It's Dodge Parks, and it'll be Dodge Park number 1, not Dodge Park number 4. I got Dodge Park. I'm in Waterford here. They're out in Highland, which it goes Waterford. This is going westbound. Waterford, White Lake, Highland. So you're going through basically 2.5 townships here. I'm in Dodge 4. It's just up the street or down the street from me, not even a half a mile. But Dodge 10 is where that park is, or that house is at.
Right.
Now, some of them are Dodge Park dog trial area. So that might be an area where the bird hunters take their dogs to train their dogs for bird hunts. There's another Dodge Park that's about a third of a mile away. It's that one where my buddy got chased out of that swamp. They run horses there, and they do the dog training for birds. So it's all in one area. And then if you get to it's like Livingston Road is the name of the road that this runs, and it runs between Milford Road, which is north and south. Livingston Road goes east and west, and then further east is Duck Lake Road. So the dirt part of Livingston go between Milford and Duck Lake Road. Now, that's just a 2-lane road, nothing big, but as soon as you cross Duck Lake Road, that's Highland Recreation Area.
Yeah.
So that's that 5,900 acres. So you got a road here and there, but that's about it.
Right.
Mom of an Angel asked a question that I was going to also ask you. Did you notice any tracks or damage or any physical evidence of the encounter being
They
there?
left prints.
And then marking it. Now I see the last one here. It says, it's a crazy time lapse here that I'm seeing between my TV and here. And then it says about marking of territory. Have I seen anything? I don't know what this is, but this is off in Indian Springs Metro Park. When wife part 2 and I were together, I think this was, I'm going to say 2013-ish or whatever. We were out in that Indian Springs Metro Park, and it was during the winter time, and we went down one of these trails that people usually just don't go down.
Right.
And it was fresh snow. The snow was there probably about a week or so at least. And we had gone out there, and down this side trail, there's a handful of animal prints. It was like coon maybe, and deer, and then our footprints. That was it. Now we experienced something out there, and I said this in your first show, is that this very weird looking large bird, I think I said it was like a turkey vulture, but it was considerably larger. It landed and it stirred something up. And whatever it was dark in color, I'd say black, and it took off running. I mean, it was big, but I couldn't make up exactly what it was because it was too far away. It was a couple hundred yards away or so, but it ran in a direction that we were going, and we headed off down this side trail because we wanted to cut it short. It was quite a bit cold out, and we got into this area, and as we walked onto this trail, you would hear the wood knocks. I'm like, what is that? And I've never heard it. And, and I'm thinking, okay, this might be somebody out there, just screwing around or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be a dick. I'll respond, just to mess with them or whatever. But it responded. What was it? I don't know. I don't know. But we went back and forth a couple times, and it stopped. But the weird thing is the further we walked down this path, again, the only footprints on it, human-wise, was ours. And it had this weird feeling. If anybody, there's like a weird static in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And how to describe it? If you stand underneath big power lines, you can almost hear it and feel it. That's what it was like in the air. But there's no power lines over this area, not even close.
Wow.
And we come up there and we hear this banging again, but it was kind of light. And it's just this tick, tick, tick. It almost had like a sequence to it.
Right.
And it would do it a certain amount of times and it would stop and it'd wait a few seconds and then it would do it again. Like, what is that? And we come up on what looked like, I call it a hive, but it's not a hive. It's basically, it looked like a teepee where people put a whole bunch of large sticks together and made like a shelter. But it
Right.
did. It kind of looked like a teepee in a way.
Right.
But, and then all of a sudden I heard that crack. I mean, it was a loud crack, like somebody took two large branches and cracked them together, or baseball bats or something. It's really loud. And it startled us. And it came from that little hut or whatever you want to call it. And I'm looking, and then it goes crack again. And then you hear something dragging. Oh, you got somebody sneaking up behind you. I see.
Oh, yeah, that's Tony.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Tony. But
As a matter of fact, Regina wanted to know, were you scared? She said, when you went to the house, were you scared? Our adventurers wanted to ask that question. And then Kevin earlier said, Beck's example of a dog man equals Anubis.
yeah, Anubis, yeah, from the Egyptians, yeah.
Hmm.
So, yeah, was you scared?
Eddie, I will not go near that place. That is as close as you get. I carry some serious hardware on my hip.
I believe you.
You know, I mean, but I wouldn't stop what was there
Rocco V.
if something came out. But yeah, I don't go near it. I mean, as close as you see me get to that house was in that vehicle. That's it. I don't want anything to do with that.
Good
But
morning. On the other side of the pond, I want to say good morning to Glenn.
Acknowledge me.
And hello to Rocco.
Acknowledge me.
My apologies there. Want to get that out of the way. Glenn's on the other side of the pond here. Love having Glenn here. Next question. What was your first reaction? Fear, disbelief, curiosity?
okay, yeah, we'll get to that, but I want to finish up real quick on that
Yeah. My
that
bad.
little den area.
Mm-hmm.
But what it sounded like is when it was cracking this stuff, it would crack the large sticks together and then it would drag them along each other. And it was loud enough to where you could hear like bits and pieces of bark gripping onto each other and pulling each other off of the sticks. It was that loud.
Really?
And it kept doing it. Now, the weird thing was there was a set of bipedal footprints going in towards off the trail in towards that den. However, there are no prints whatsoever on the main trail itself. The prints themselves didn't start until about 10 feet off of the trail. And there'd be no way in hell any of us could, in the snow, granted it wasn't deep, it was probably 6 or 8 inches deep or whatever, but there'd be no way in hell that a person could make from footprint to footprint that type of jump. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There was something big in there, and that's outside of having to pull my sidearm in that park because of a charging deer. That was the only time I flipped the safety off on my 45. And I'm like, we're leaving. And we backed out of that area. There was something in there. It wasn't human. I don't give a shit about a human. That's no big deal. It's not, meth head in a snowbank. I'm not too concerned with, but there was something in there, and there was a feeling that come over me of like, okay, we need to leave now. And this was daytime. This wasn't anything crazy, but had then we had gotten back out into the parking lot. I'm sorry. We got out to the parking lot outside of the park ranger or cop or whatever. Ours
Right.
was the only car that was there. So could that still have been somebody that came off from a farther distance from within the park to that place? Possibly. But really, there wasn't that many people out in that area. Not as far as what I could see.
Right.
Not, now I'm seeing a lot of questions here coming up.
Yeah,
Just when I look up.
I'm glad you see them because Rocco had one. He said, "Do you think these dogmen could be interdimensional?" Good question.
Yeah, why not? You know, at the end of the day, do we really know anything about these things? Either that, Bigfoot, whatever. And I don't want to sound disrespectful from to anybody that's in this field. It's not my intent. But
Mm-hmm.
are we really as smart as we like to think we are regarding this stuff? We don't have any clue, really.
Right.
I mean, you can get whatever evidence you want or whatever. It's just that you might get lucky and get some, but I mean, then again, you never hear anything of it. How many
Right.
times have you heard, "Oh, I got this type of evidence"? And again, I have to reassert this. I am not being respectful.
Okay.
It's just I see it when people say, "Well, I got all this evidence." Okay, show it. Well, somebody took it.
Um,
Yeah,
Glenn wants
but
to know.
as far as being interdimensional things,
Mhm.
it's possible. Some of the critters that I've seen out there in the woods out there in Highland, they have done some stuff right in front of me in a daytime that
Mhm.
makes me go, "What the hell? How?" So hi, Manny.
Glenn wants to know
Good.
how he was doing. There he is, Glenn. He is on his way to bed.
Good night, Manny.
He's sitting there falling asleep. I'm sorry.
Nothing to be sorry for.
So, and Shelly had another question. Where was it at? I lost it. Oh, yes. Do you think there were tree travelers? Thank you, Shelly, for that's a good question.
I am glad that has brought up because this has been grinding in my brain pan since the last time we talked about this, and I've never said this to anybody. When we, wife part two and I went out with some friends of mine or whatever, and I think it was winter of 13. Yeah, I think it was right around that same time with the Indian Springs issue. But we went back in to that Dodge 10 Park where that house is at.
Uh-huh.
And before you take one of the little side streets where I was pulling out of in that video, there used to be a baseball diamond down there.
Right.
Okay. But now it's gone. They got little yurts and everything else back in there, which I don't know why the hell you'd want to camp back in that, but yeah, whatever. But
Right.
as far as the tree stuff, my buddy said, "Yeah, you got to watch for them out here
Mm-hmm.
because they will sit in trees." And how he explained it is they'll climb up a tree and it's like an ambush predator type thing or whatever.
Right.
They'll climb up a tree and actually sit straddled over a large branch with their back up against it.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of blend in. So they'll sit as flush to it as they possibly can. I mean, come on, you're 400 pounds and 6 to 7 feet tall. I mean, you're only going to blend in so much, but that was something that he had made mention. He said it was kind of a frequent thing that they would do. Have I seen that? No. Have I seen any signs of anything like that? I haven't, and I'm definitely not in any condition to go Tarzan through a group of trees trying to find scratch marks or anything.
Yeah, I don't blame
So great. Oh, back onto that. I skipped some of the question before about as far as seeing footprints. We're going to get to that. So that will be something that I haven't spoke of yet. So we're going to get to that in today's conversation.
Oh, that'll work. Um, oh, and somebody else had another question, I think. Let me go back up a little bit. Um, and Glenn, thank you so much. As y'all seen, Manny is doing a little bit better. He's not out of the woods. He's on new medication. But so far, it's working. So that's a plus. And Miss Donna Cantor, thank you so much for being here. Um, she said, I've
I see
really,
Boomer's question.
yeah, where was
Go ahead.
Boom? Have you seen one clear enough to be able to describe it to a sketch artist? Good.
Absolutely, Boomer. Yeah, I've seen them. Uh, yeah, I've seen them a few times close. The first time I saw one, the senior year in high school, it was winter time. That was about 100 feet away, if that. That was by the thing that I'd mentioned about the burning barrel. That was there. That was at nighttime. That was clear. Now, the one I saw when I was sledding, yeah, Eddie, your couch behind you is farther away than that thing was.
Really?
Yeah, that was, and I hate explaining it in this detail, because I hate using anything Hollywood-esque,
Right.
but it was a short-haired version of the American Werewolf in London.
Wow.
But it did have a mane, but it wasn't crazy huge like in the Werewolf from London thing, but it was still quite a
So
bit longer than the rest of the body fur.
did you have a sense of danger or dread?
No, no. However, um, they are intimidating. Don't get me wrong. Hell, a pit bull comes at you and people do weird shit. But
That
that's no, I was never really scared. The most crazy enough scared I've been of dogmen is when they're in my dreams. Now, I did have a screwed up dream. I was probably 2 months ago or so. I was going somewhere in this dream,
mm-hmm.
and it was like in a basement of a house, and there was a dogman that was actually curled up sleeping, and I
Right.
snuck up behind it and poked it. I don't know if I poked it with a stick or I kicked it and it turned around and it startled it and it come at me
Wow.
in this dream. And I did one of those myoclonic jerks,
Mm-hmm.
how your body does that weird stuff
Yeah.
in certain dreams or whatever. It
Like if
did
you
that.
fallen.
Yeah, yeah. I punched my dresser, hurt
Mm-hmm.
my hand, fell out of bed, and landed on my head. So that's the most danger I've had of anything like that.
But that's
But
that dream that just seems so surreal.
yeah.
Because you wake up from that,
Mm-hmm.
and that's crazy though.
Oh, I remember that thing turned around. I could remember. I've had a lot of crazy dreams that how we could do a show on it would spook most people. But um, yeah, this thing turned around. It looked at me like it was in a daze. It was like it
Mhm.
was still sleeping. Realized I wasn't one of his buddies. Its eyes got all big. Now it did one of these quick things at me like that. And as soon
Uh-huh.
as it swung at me, I backed up like that, and that's when I must have done that body twitch thing because I
Right.
went like this to put my hands up to block it, and that's when I cold clocked my dresser.
Wow. Uh,
Yep.
hello, Jason Finch. Thank you so much for being here. And K Dog, this is for you both.
Acknowledge me.
You both have been acknowledged. Jason Finch said another fantastic show tonight for the books, Eddie and Jen the vlogs, and then some podcast. The show's not over yet. We're not over yet. We've only just begun.
Yeah,
Uh,
Eddie, and I think Jason's already ate, so he shouldn't be eating again on this show unless he's going to share. But hey, hi, Jason.
Little Patty said, I have a small piece of concrete in my leg due to dogs. Concrete? Yee. I hope you get it out. Little
That's
Patty, thank you
crazy.
so much for the great show. Let me ask you, how did your body react besides the dream? But when you seen this, did your body itself have a reaction?
Okay, so you're talking from the dream, not the we'll say real stuff or whatever. You're talking the actual dream itself. Was
Yes.
I woke up and I'm like, oh damn, that hurt after I picked myself up. And then physically I was hurt. Hell, I busted my hand and then I landed on my head. So I was in a weird position. And, you know, this
Uh-huh.
little beer gut that I'm starting to adopt here is, makes my mobility not
That's
the
what was going
greatest.
on mine. A beer gut.
Yep.
That's right,
Yep.
babe. I got a beer gut.
Yep. I feel like that. I feel like Randy off a Christmas Story. I can't help me get up. That one. So, yeah. But as far as that, I got up and, thinking about it, it was so vivid. I was thinking, okay, was this a spiritual thing? Are they trying to communicate? And this is odd that this thing was so aggressive as opposed to what I've been used to over the decades.
Mm-hmm.
And it threw me off. But then again, I kind of realized you had to be a little up on the pissed off side too if somebody just woke me up by poking me with a stick. At least give eye contact or something. Shit.
Yeah, at least, I agree with you 100%. Boomer said he'll
Hmm.
be back. And did you report this to anybody, like friends, family?
Mm.
Oh, the dream.
Yeah, everything. Like from actually seeing it, even your dream.
The dream, not really. I don't even think I told Lauren about it. It's just one of those weird things. Now, as far as uh, my encounters,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of just stayed shut up about it here and there throughout the decades. Except for the people that
You
are in tune to that type of stuff, have seen stuff themselves. I tried a couple times talking to somebody, and they kind of just brushed me off. Then, what was it? Month and some change ago, they had a run in with a shadow figure in their house. Now they kind of believe me on this type of stuff. But I really kept quiet. I didn't really say too much. I was more concerned with paying attention to my surroundings when I would travel out in the woods or anything like that, or hell, even at my house for that matter. Um, I really didn't get into telling anybody until I think it was like Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's of 2023. I went on Vic Cundiv's show, Dogman Encounters. That was my first time ever telling anybody. So you're talking experiences from 91, 92 to 2023 that's the time we're talking here when I finally decided to uh, tell anybody about
right.
that. Hey, Andrew, cheers, my partner in crime, brother. I will see you in just over a month in Missouri.
Hey, Andrew, thank you so much for being here. Let me acknowledge you.
Acknowledge me.
And somebody, did I see a question in here?
Huh.
Did you see a question?
Donna said, "Did you poop on yourself when
Oh.
you had that visual?"
What was that?
Donna asked, did you poop on yourself when you had that visual?
Oh, there is the thing I like to say is yeah. Oh man, that scared me, man. I shit my socks.
And then there was one in here. Where was it? I lost it was from K Dog. Oh, I'm seeing something in my house. It followed me, I think, from the hospital.
Oh,
Oh, I hope not. I'm hoping you're doing okay too. By the way,
Oh, you gotta be careful with that stuff from coming from the hospitals. Just make sure you cleanse and pray. I don't know what your beliefs are, but you don't
right.
want anything attaching to you, even if it claims to have good intentions. You just want to say, hey, you need to go back where you came from or whatever. Just you don't want that stuff. Before you know it, you got shit moving around your house and things staring at you in the corner at night and all that nonsense.
Right. And hello, Lisa J.
Acknowledge me.
You have been acknowledged. Thank you so much for being here. Adventures with Beth just walked in the door.
Hey, can I get out a quick real advertisement quick, Eddie?
Yeah.
Yeah, if anybody is interested, Vic was actually on Selena Garrett's show just before yours on Southern Belle Bigfoot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was pretty cool show. It was her and Tex and Vic. So he had some pretty cool things to say. So if anybody's interested, go over to Southern Belle Bigfoot, give her the love and the likes and subscribe if
Oh
you have
yeah,
not.
we love Southern Belle. We do love Southern Belle. So yes, you are so right. If you guys, as a matter of fact, can you look up Southern Belle's um, link? Put her link in, and if you guys don't have Southern Belle, Jen's gonna put the link in. Go by and check her out. She is so wonderful. You are so right, Keith. Yes, she is. Adventure Beth said, "I've been listening, Eddie. Just forgot to talk. That's okay. I don't learn. I don't know how to talk, but I'm still learning. It's called urbanics." No, you are fine. You are just fine. I already asked that. Has the experience changed your belief system? So basically, if you never heard of it before, I'm quite sure you had to research it first before you even said anything to anyone of what you saw. And now, basically, like they say, seeing is believing. So, how does your belief system now? How do you feel about what you saw?
They just they are what they are. I mean, I don't live in fear. You know, I am a very much a what you see is what you get type person, and how I interact if I have the, if you want to call it, opportunity to interact with these things. It's just like we're doing right now. They are what they are. They're here. I don't know why they're here, but then again, why do we have freaking mosquitoes and earwigs? Ew. But I mean,
Right.
it's just one of those things. They're just, it is what it is. I believe how they treat me, or when I run across them, there's actually a respect that goes back hundreds of years, possibly thousands of years with these, especially due to my native ancestry.
Uh-huh.
It's still all of that area, including White Lake, is where my native ancestors came from. And in fact, a lot of them still live in that area. So
Wow.
it might be one of those things. And I really believe that there is, in certain cases, that there is an ancestral.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I said ancestral. I didn't say the ancestral. Woo-hoo! But anyway, um, there's an ancestral connection between, pick a flavor, Dogman, Bigfoot, anything like that, and First Nations people, possibly even some of the earlier settlers connections
Right.
that go throughout time. You know, I think I had mentioned something like that with Tex, because he had brought up an interesting point of, you know, it's maybe my ancestors back in the 1700s helped out a group of these, insert cryptid here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they helped them out and they've had a mutual respect ever since. Or that could be, hey, your ancestors back in the 1700s killed my cryptid family. I don't like you. And it's been taught throughout the generations.
Right.
And one of the things I think I had mentioned before too is I got that kind of a situation like that going on right now with a family of raccoons out in my backyard or whatever. And when the wife and I moved here in 2019, I think it was, we had befriended a little raccoon after I called her Mama Coon. I think I sent you pictures.
Yeah.
And yeah, she'd come out, hang out, and knock on the window. But throughout the generations, because you know they don't have a long life expectancy,
Right.
they still come up. Her little kids. In fact, whatever grandchild it is that she has now, she comes up with her four little kids, and they'll come and hang out and everything like that. And
Mm-hmm.
it was last week I was feeding them stuff. And the one, I opened up the sliding glass door, and the one I opened it up, I made him a sandwich or something like that, and I threw him some sandwich. But one of the little ones, he's a little rambunctious one. He come up and decided he wanted to sit on the tracking of the door. And I'm
Right.
like, get out of here like that. I actually had to push his butt with my hand to get him out of the way because he was too intent on eating that peanut butter sandwich. So, with that being said, if a group of animals that are as simple as a squirrel, which they love it when I bring them peanuts, but as a squirrel or a raccoon or a possum or anything like that, if they're smart enough to pass that down to their group, why not a Sasquatch or a Dogman or something on that line? You know what I'm saying?
Right. I'm sorry. Um, okay, it's back. There. Okay. My apologies. We're watching. We have cameras upstairs so that we can watch Manny, and it's just
Yeah.
keep glitching out.
Okay.
Have you
Well, if you
ever?
gotta,
Oh no, go ahead.
all right, I was gonna say, if you gotta go check, do your thing, man. It's
Oh
no
no, no,
big
no,
deal.
no.
Family first.
Oh no, you good.
Okay.
Have you had any other strange experiences since
In the same area.
in the same area?
Absolutely. Now we're gonna take back off as far as where the tracks come in.
Okay.
Again, now I had mentioned in the first one, it was like July of 2004 when things got pretty active down at that the cabin that people had rented out. Again, this is
Mhm.
probably not even a quarter mile away from that video. And I told you about the ones that came around there, and we would hear things throughout the summer and into the fall. Once in a while, you'd hear stuff yelling out in the woods, or you would get glimpses of stuff like out of the corner of your eye of something running, but
Mhm.
nothing really that I could confirm one way or another. So that's how I leave that. However, I think it was around Christmas time of '04. Uh, the family that I was chilling with, and the girl I was seeing at the time or whatever, one of her friends, and
Mhm.
she lived in that area as well. They all did. And
Right.
she had called up screaming and crying, and now she's sitting across the room. I mean, she's 10, 12 feet away from me. And you could hear the girl on the other phone screaming and crying. You could hear her phone, or not her phone, her beeping her horn on her car, which ultimately died out.
Right.
But you hear her yelling. She's like, God, go away, get away from me, all this weird shit. And what's going on? And she just kept saying, it won't leave. It won't leave. Where are you? She told us where she's down at Livingston and Beaumont. Again, same area. And what's going on? We're coming. What's wrong? And she said, there's a large black dog laying in the middle of the road and it won't move. I'm like, what are you talking? What type of dog? She's like, I've never seen anything this big. And we knew what it was. It
Mhm.
scared the hell out of her. And we took off uh, down to intercept her or whatever because her car had died. So we knew what was coming. I had to jump the car or whatever, but you have this other thing going on.
Mhm.
And I pulled up to her, and there was fresh snow on the ground. There wasn't many car tracks at all. And I pulled up nose to nose with her and got out, looked around or whatever the case was, didn't really see anything. I'm looking for tracks, looking for where this thing laid down. What it was my dumbass parked over where this thing was laying down in front of her car. So it was actually that close to her. And she had
Wow.
like a little Mazda Miata thing or whatever. So it wasn't really a big car or a Capri or whatever. But so I had parked on where this thing was laying, so I didn't see it. But I got to the back of my minivan that I had, and again, looking around, didn't see anything. Checking for tracks, didn't see anything. Went and got to jumper cables, got her jump started or whatever. Everything was all hunky dory, and she's calming down, but she's still shaking pretty bad. And and she said, yeah, I got up and walked away, but she never specified whether or not it was on 2 feet or four. So one way or another, I guess, but it had moved away. And what ended up happening is it went back in the woods. Now on this road, one
Mhm.
side of the road is all woods. It goes up an embankment. It goes into really thick pine forest, older growth pine forest. And on the other side of the street, it goes down an embankment into a swamp. So that's what we're dealing with. And got her all jump started and everything. Now I'm looking around, don't see anything. And as soon as I got to the back of my caravan to put the jumper cables away, sure as shit, there was a set of tracks coming off that embankment from the woods going down into the swamp that were not there before. And it was very large canine footprints. So
Wow.
basically what it boils down to is while we had our face buried underneath the hood of her car, something was walking on the backside of mine.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you're talking the length of a car. I didn't see, man, I got goosebumps thinking about that shit. But yeah, it was crazy. And we're like, okay, we need to get out of here.
Yeah, in the worst way.
Yeah, it was like right now. So we backed up and moved around her friend or whatever, and I went down the next street, which was Beaumont, and it's probably 40 yards away. If that turned around, we left, went back towards into Highland. Now, that was I'm trying to think. As far as Dogman was concerned, that was pretty much it until when I run across those ones. See, we saw some that was back in the late 90s. I think I already mentioned that. Mentioned the Ozzy Osbourne one. I'm just backtracking through my head here.
Mhm.
I think that was it until, wow. I'm trying to think, was it fall? I think it was fall of 13. Now, this was before I saw those tracks with that den and I think slamming the sticks together. So it was the fall prior to that. Wife part 2 and I were out there. So yeah, you're talking a jump of almost 9-10 years with seeing nothing. So we were out in Kensington, wife part 2 and I, and we were walking down one of the back trails. Now there's the one set of trails that goes along the backside of this lake or whatever. And we were getting near the backside of this lake, and out of the corner of my eye, I catch what appeared to be someone running at a pretty good clip. They were moving. And I looked, and I thought it was somebody in almost like a ghillie suit, I guess is the only way I could describe it, but it was reddish in color. At least it was the way that the sun was hitting it. It had like a dark auburn color. How I did describe it is almost like what the hell are those dogs? Irish setter. So it's that dark red color. That's what it looked like. But I saw where they went, and it looked like a kid, but it was just like moving way too fast. I told her to stand here for just a second. And I went off towards this thing, and it's probably, it's not going to be the greatest of distance, but maybe 50 to 70 yards away from me. And it was we still had an hour or so or of daylight or whatever. So, and I saw where this thing went, and it went behind. It was a large tree of some sort. I suck with trees. It was either an oak or a maple. It was big. It was at least probably 3 feet in diameter. So it was an old one.
Right.
But I saw where this thing went. And I'm like, I'm going to go see who this is. I want to know why the hell they're just running around in the woods or whatever like this. And I got maybe 2 steps away from this thing. And prior to come up to, I could hear the breathing. And it was a very fast paced breath. It was like there was nervousness behind it. But you could tell it was trying to catch its breath. I mean, it was evidently using some energy. But what I found when I got there, it was considerably shorter than I was. It was probably maybe 5 foot. And what I saw was that dark long fur. Now, remember how I mentioned about like the long length fur of the one I saw in the spotlight that kind of reminded me of the Ozzy Osbourne Bark at the Moon? It was like that, but it was that dark red color. Slender build, not crazy muscular or anything, but I could see the hands. I could see the hands and the long claws, and his face was turned to its left away from me. I knew this wasn't human at that point. So this thing's sitting there breathing heavy and nervous. And again, I'm only a couple steps away from it. I mean, a couple steps and I could have grabbed its hand, but I didn't. And something come over me to give this thing comfort, whatever it was. Again, this was not human. I know that for a fact. This was not human. Moving too fast, and the detail that was on in its body and especially on its hands with the claws and everything. They weren't sharp like talons, but they were more thick claws, almost like a dog would be like. But something came over me to give this thing comfort. There, I hate saying the voices told me, but yeah, it was something like that. It said, just give this thing comfort and back away. And that's exactly what I did. I said, I did the thing of, you're okay. I'm not going to hurt you. Don't worry. I'm going to go away, that type of stuff. I was real calm with my voice and I backed away from it. Quite a distance. Once in a while I'd check over my shoulder, make sure I'm going to fall on my ass or nothing. But
Right.
it was one of those things is I had to give this thing. Oh, Rob from Michigander Man's here. Hello.
Hey, Michigan man, Rob, how are you doing, bro?
Acknowledge me.
Sorry about
Yep.
that.
So, you're all right. So, yeah, I just backed away from this thing and I just tried to be as calm as I could to give this thing some type of comfort, and I backed away from it. And that was it. Now back in this and that was it for a while as far as the dogmen were concerned. Now
Right.
there are other things that happened that were on the paranormal level, which are pretty trippy. I'll get into a little bit. But back in at Kensington, there's a set of trails that's called Chickadee Loop, and it goes back into the woods or whatever. And out of all my years going back in onto those trails, and I'm talking from like 1986 to even now, I mean, I think it's like a year or two ago was the last time I was in there because of my health issues or whatever.
Right.
Every time I've gone back in there, I have never heard an animal ever. Period. Never squirrel chatter, never chipmunks, never birds, nothing. It is the most. Hi, Boomer. It was just the craziest dead silence in this area every time. And I don't think I've recalled much at all of ever seeing animals in there. So I don't know what the hell is back in there. I saw one thing in there I thought was a portal, and that was during the daytime. It was like the shape of it. It was way up in the trees. But even though it's a nice area, there's an unsettling feeling behind it that you can give me whatever hardware that I have here, I would not go out there at night.
You know what? I wouldn't want to go out there at night myself. That's why I said if I was to ever come up there, I'm imagine I'm going to. I'm not going to say if I ever. I'm going to. I want to go up there during the day.
Yeah, no problem. And it's everything that we would have to see, be it in either White Lake, Highland, or Milford. Those are all connecting townships. So
And
you're all within 20 minutes of each other.
And Lisa J, I'm sorry I did not answer you right away. Manny is doing a little bit better. I apologize to you. I am so sorry. But yeah, I just caught your message. I was scrolling up to see who I had missed and I caught her message. I am so sorry. And Jason, we love you too. There. Boomer, what's up, man? I know you got some
Hey,
questions.
how's it going?
It's going.
What was my question?
How many licks does it take to
Oh.
get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? I got
Yeah. How many brain cells does it take to get Boomer to wake up? Mike, do you think that they are a migrational species?
Being
Could that explain like the majority of the time of the sightings are during like toward the end of the winter and beginning of the summer times? Like, could they be migrating?
Yeah, I think you're onto something with that, and I'll agree with that as well. Is because of I saw them in that area a lot of the time, or whatever the case was. I've seen them farther north. It's kind of like where White Lake was at, or whatever.
Right.
And I think I was in there in that park where I walked along the edge of the woods by where that crazy house is at. I think there was still snow on the ground, and it was this year's, early spring, late winter, or whatever.
Right.
And the feeling that I had from just walking along the wood line or whatever, that's where I saw the one that kind of ducked down behind the tree stump or whatever. I was walking along that line, and the calmness that was in the air, there was something spiritual about it. It was so calm and so peaceful. I have never felt any calm and peace like that anywhere. And I did not catch up on any vibes from Dogman or whatever the hell is in that house. Not even then, I didn't catch anything. Now, I think it was, God, when did we go out? What day is it set? I think we went out. Oh, it was earlier this week. The wife and I went out to that Indian Springs. Now, we just take our dogs for a walk, so we don't go necessarily in the nature trail area or whatever. But the past 2-3 years, I've been getting weird vibes in that place. And along this one specific section, just like a month ago, there was weird barking that was coming from that area, and it gave me an unsettling feeling. Not like I was going to get eaten or anything like that, but when we went out there earlier this week, there was no vibes that that I could pick up on. Now I see Andrew's got there real quick. He said something about somebody that lives in the Upper Peninsula. I do have something about that I want to run across people, but Boomer, I'll take care of you first.
They said something about spoken with her Bigfoot troop.
Okay.
A trope. My bad. But go. You got you. This is your show. You
Yeah,
go.
that's something I've always wondered too. Who was it? Mrs. Donna says, is it a male or female? I always wondered, like, why do people automatically assume that the gender is male? Like when people speak of Bigfoot, they use the he or him, all the time. It's like,
Right, but how do they know?
Like, how do you know it's not a female Bigfoot? It's like,
Hello, dolls, Dolly.
but that's weird.
So as far as the Dogman, I think where people usually just associate that with being a male, that is such a beast to see out in the woods. You do not see anything feminine about those. That's just sheer power, intimidation. It could be a female, and that's, like I said on, I think it was when I was talking with Bigfoot Michigan Rob about it, and someone brought up the same thing. I'm more concerned with what's at the business end of that thing than I am with the south end. But yeah, I think it's where people say it's male or whatever. I think it's just a common thing to say because they are just that intimidating or whatever.
Like Rob says, Dogman is male, but like if it's a mammal, right?
Mhm.
Like any of us, the reproductive system should hold same for them as it does us. So there's got to be both genders, right?
Right.
Hey, before you go on, I want to say hello to hey, it's the Johnsons. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. They are new.
Acknowledge me.
I apologize. I just wanted to get that.
Relation?
But never know, because we're Johnsons also. You can call me Ray, and you can call her Jay, and you can call him RJ Jr., but you doesn't have to call me Johnson. Anybody remember that commercial? I'm sorry. I went way off.
You're good.
Oh,
ahead.
I was gonna say, you mentioned that, when you see one, you automatically think so because it doesn't appear of having any feminine qualities, so you're gonna assume it's male, right? But I've seen plenty of wolves in the wild and in packs and stuff, and the females look just as menacing as the males. So I'm just like, I mean, what would you think if that, like, if we were all wrong about what they actually are, like, you know, like, I mean, the female could look just as menacing as the male, right? I mean, like,
Oh,
you
absolutely.
watch the movies of werewolves and things like that. The female werewolves are just as grimacing as the males.
Right. So I think with
But
that too is also it might just be a physical, just an overall physical size difference
yeah, yeah,
that we would pick up on, with exception to saying like spiders or,
right.
something like that where the female's obviously larger.
Larger
But
than, yeah,
yeah, so here is probably if it is or a physical thing or whatever the case is, yeah, I could see that.
right.
If it's a spiritual thing, I think sex of the critter is irrelevant. I don't think it really applies to something that's supernatural.
Yeah. I was just curious, like,
Yeah, yeah.
I think about that ever since, like, from Bigfoot, Moth, like everything has man in it. Dogman, Big,
Right, but nobody knows for sure.
Mothman, stuff like that. It's like, why did they just automatically go to that gender? It was just curiosity. Thought maybe somebody else had some sort of insight on that. But I was gonna also, you mentioned like when you usually can tell when they're around because you kind of you sense that you get
Mhm.
that feeling that there's something around. Do you and you said you've never experienced them actually like verbally communicating or anything. Do you think they have like a type of um telecommunicating system with them where they don't use verbal words, but what's the word? Tell us something. Not
Yeah, you're talking almost like a
telekinesis.
mind speak of some sort.
Yeah, yeah, like
Yeah, telepathy. Now,
telepathy.
with that though,
Do you
I
think
did
that's why
have
you can feel it because they're giving that off, or
yeah, I think it has something to do again with the spiritual end of a connection of some sort with
mm,
First Nations people that seem they
right?
I don't know if they pick up on that stuff. I know a lot of my family members do. Now, as far as like a mind speak or anything like that, I did have the one situation back in I think it was roughly mid-July of 2004 when I'd gone to uh, where that family and a girl I was seeing at the time, her family had rented out that cabin just down the street from where that video was. And there was the one smaller dog kid. I guess I'd have to say it was female. And the reason being is because this thing was short. It was obviously an adolescent of some sort. I mean, it was, if 5 feet was tall, that would probably be the north end of this thing.
Okay.
But when that thing creeped its head out from around that pine tree and it said either come here or come closer, something like that, it was so clear. I don't know if it was verbal or if it was that the mind speak thing, but I've gone back and forth with it. Some people say, "Oh, make up your damn mind," but man, is trying to one. This is 2004, and what are we? 20 plus years later, here we are. So trying to remember something that lasted maybe 10 seconds, or so, or whatever with this communication thing. Um, it was a form of communication that I understood perfectly what it was saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I necessarily wouldn't second guess its intent when it said, man, I mean, to me, outside of the one when I was sledding and that thing come up next to me, then tried to sneak behind me. That was the only two times where I felt like I needed to get the hell out of the Dodge, besides the one in the park. I was talking earlier about that little structure, but where I saw something with those two, it was no bueno. So I'm saying on that.
Right.
Hey, it's the Johnsons. Yes, Boomer asked a good question because he asked just that because they said you never hear anything about gender and possibly a difference in the habits of male and female. Every time people talk about Bigfoot or any kind of cryptid, we always assume that it's a male.
Right.
But
Right.
how do we know?
Yeah, and how do we know they're not non-binary? I mean,
Right. And Lisa J.
that's a joke.
Well,
I'm sorry, I went
I,
there.
I tell you what, Eddie, this is what you and I will do.
Mhm.
And Jen can come along with this next time or whatever. Y'all come up north here. And if we run across one of these dog men, we can volunteer you or your wife to go grab a handful and see what's packing.
There you go, babe.
I'll be your huckleberry.
Yep. Remember, like G.I. Joe said, no one's half the battle.
That's true. No one is. That's just half the battle.
Look
Tell
at
you what, Eddie, if you're willing
yeah, a mail
to
from
go 22 hours out of your way and swing by and get me on your way up,
Oh, that'll work. I should do that too. And Lisa,
I'll go to the house. I'll go in the house. I'll call out, "Hey, dog man, where you at?" You know, I'll get one to come and I'll see if I can't get. See, that's one reason why I asked you that
Mhm.
question about communicating, because the majority of my communication with the spirits, when I communicate with spirits, is more or less through telepathy.
Right.
Okay. And at times, like you said, like that's why I think maybe and at times, especially the earthbound ones, if they're trying to communicate to me, it almost sounds like they're talking in my ear, but I know it's more like because it reverberates so much that it actually sounds like I'm hearing it through my ear, like they're talking to me like
Yep.
you and I would, but I know that's not possible. So I'm thinking that's probably in that case that you were describing, that's probably what happened. It may have been um uh I just said the damn word.
Telepathic.
Telepathic communication, and it was so it could have just been like so loud to you that it sounded like you were hearing
Yes.
it.
Yep.
Because I've had that experience many times communicating,
And
with spirits
Lisa
and stuff,
J,
being a medium and stuff. So
when we have our "What's Your Paranormal Story," you should come up and share your paranormal story. That'll be week after next. I have a different show next week that I'm going to need Boomer on the panel for, and the same with Christina and Keith. If you're on,
what's
you
the
can
next?
come on the panel too. It's going to be
Oh man,
What's
I
the
got some
date?
paranormal stuff for you.
a paranormal discussion. I'll explain it at the end of the show.
Next week is the 10th.
Yep.
I can't do anything on the 10th.
What, Sunday?
Yeah. I do nothing, absolutely nothing on the 10th. That's my sister's birthday.
Okay.
It'll be 5 years. Well, it was 5 years a couple months ago. So
Right. I actually might go live.
I
sometime
don't stream.
week.
I don't do anything on the 10th. I just
Right,
sit home and
Hey, it's the Johnson said, I'm also curious on location of sightings. I was born and raised in Maine and now I live in Missouri. In Maine, I remember hearing stories, but nothing here in Missouri. There is stories in Missouri. I just
We'll
can't.
pack chock full of stories.
Oh yeah,
if
there's
you're
a
on
lot.
beyond midnight though, I could pop in after midnight. But I always every year I give my sister a day of just remembering her. So
Oh yeah, yeah. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I totally understand. So yeah, you do that. Maybe we'll have. I know I want Christina up there. Rob, you go on and have a good night, bro. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. And then I know there was other. Let me see.
Oh, by the way, hi Rob. I forgot to say hi when I came in. How you doing, Rob?
um, Andrew said, remember Crocodile Dundee? Dang, I hope I have off this Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, I have a serious question. I'm gonna say, well, it's good. I'm not gonna say what it is because then we'll start talking about it today. I want to save it for next week because it's something that's I've been thinking about for the past couple of days, watching YouTube, watching these paranormal investigators that actually kind of got me flustered.
Paranormal investigators.
Right. That really got me flustered because if you're a so-called paranormal investigator, I'm not going to go any further than that.
Yeah. Well,
But that's okay. We'll save
tell
it
you
for
what, I can do a live stream on Saturday though. If you guys are available on
what?
Saturday, we can talk about it on Saturday
We can change the live
night.
to Sunday and
If
do
you
it
want.
Saturday.
No, go on Boomers. And talk about
Yeah, you know what? We'll go on yours and we can talk about it.
Okay. And then you can still do your thing with everybody else on Sunday. Now,
Right.
yeah.
So yeah.
I'm sorry. I just, for the last 5 years, I've been just
you
doing
have a
that.
right
Not,
Hey,
That's the day of
that's
honoring, you know
that's-
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
that's family.
And, remembrance of someone. a
Yeah.
loved
So
one. So
that I don't
totally
blame
get
you not
that.
one
Totally.
bit.
this will be the first year though that I don't buy a bottle for it.
That's a plus.
That's strength. And
That's a plus.
And this is the first year that New Year's, my sister's birthday, and my birthday will go by without me getting a bottle too. So that's usually my thing. I get a bottle on New Year's Eve. I get a bottle on my birthday. But
I gotta poop. Oh, I'm pooped. I thought you said I gotta poop. I'm sorry.
I'm pooped.
I was gonna say thanks for sharing that with us. Everybody, please excuse Lisa J. She's gotta go take a poop. So making sure her bowels are running. So you go right on ahead and take that poop. Let us know how everything came out. I'm just playing with you, Lisa. I misread that. No, back to what y'all was saying. I'm sorry. I just wanted to acknowledge people that was in here.
Yeah, I didn't mean to throw y'all off with that. I forgot where we were at too.
No, that's okay. That'll just go to my next question.
Communication. Communication with Dogman. That's what we were talking about.
Hi, Southern Belle.
Southern Belle. Speaking of Southern Belle.
Hey, Selena.
There
Good
she-
show tonight.
There she is.
Acknowledge me.
We were just talking about you, Southern Belle. Wow. Her ear must have been ringing. I bet your ear was ringing up the street.
Several investigators have been getting on her nerves too, certain things.
Dolls Dolly, maybe you should. I want you to be there too, because I want you to hear what I got to say. I think Boomer's going to definitely agree with me. I'm just tired of this. I'm watching these YouTubers supposed to be paranormal investigators. I got to ask this question. Heck with it. I'm going to ask. Why do they run?
That's been my question forever, bro.
I challenge you to come fight me, come face me. And you're
And the minute they hear a shoe drop,
they
they're
run
out
away.
the door.
Oh my god.
Out the door.
Can't handle that shit.
I'm like, kidding me? Yesterday that really ticked me off.
The one I would bitch about the most doing that. And it sucked because I really liked everybody else and I liked the show. But Brian, I think it was Brian H, if I'm not mistaken. The younger one from Ghost Hunters, the Taps team.
I remember
In the
him.
beginning. Everything. Like just he would start screaming, yelling, and cussing, and what the fuck was happening? And he'd be running out, and I was like, why are you even there, bro? Why?
Right.
Like if you're gonna run away every damn time, you're there to find it, and as soon as you find it, you run away. What?
Right. And so they disprove, and that makes the paranormal real investigators, that make them look bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
It really does.
Yep.
This is why a lot of people think that paranormal, a lot of these people are fake, phony, and I start to agree with them, especially the ones that are doing it on YouTube to do it for
Right.
clout. They're clout chasing. They're trying to
Yep,
get
yep.
those views, and they'll put on their thumbnails that no clickbait and this, that, and the other.
Right.
You know,
Hey, Shelly, just to remind you, Shelly, you're only older than me for 4 months. So slow down, slow your roll. Okay.
But yeah, we'll save that for the next time we get together, because that's gonna be a nice topic. Because I'm just, oh
Yeah,
man, after
yeah.
yesterday and what I was watching, I'm like, you know what? I've had it with these YouTube so-called paranormal investigators. You know,
And all that does is discredit everybody else that's legitimately trying to go out there and find stuff. You know, that's just, you know, I hate that stuff exactly. Like, oh, that was a ghost hissing at me. No, asshole, that was your water softener cycling. Stop. Yeah.
Like, now the true ones that's here, Boomer D, Christina and Son, Spirit Stalker, and we've worked with Spirit Stalker, who's in the chat. They don't run. You know, we don't run.
Those shows up. Who runs?
That's
They
why.
freaking
That's
freaked
like
up
the.
like
That's
I'm not a paranormal investigator either. I'm
right. And I'm not. I'm not either. I'm
So-
just a paranormal enthusiast, but I don't run.
Yep.
And not only that, that's like the holy grail. That's what you came for.
If I was gonna run, I wouldn't be living in this apartment now after what happened to me a few years back. if
Right. See,
I can deal with that, I would compare that. I would compare that experience
to my
to an
mother.
encounter with Dogman. Because this was some dark shit that was coming after me one night.
You had some dark
And,
shit.
If I could lay there in my bed and just stare at, well, if it had eyes, I'd be locking eyes with it. You know, if I could, I saw it as staring death in the face. Okay, that's how I viewed it, because that's the only thing I could think of. It was a cloaked, dark figure, and was that close to my face, laying on the bed when I woke up. I mean, there's a whole story to that, but I won't go into that now because this is Keith's thing. But
Oh, you're
yeah,
good. Do what you do,
if
boy.
I ain't gonna run from that shit, I ain't running from nothing. Okay. As this day to this day, the only thing or person I'm afraid of is my mom. Okay. My mom's the only one that can get my feet going fast enough to run. Anything else? Look, I've experienced too much in 55 years that, yeah, I can't run from. I couldn't run if I wanted to anyway. I'm too fucked up, you know. So,
Well, that's the thing. I saw that someone in here was, they had in chat said that they can startle, but they're not going to run. That's
Right.
right. I mean, and that's the thing is, you know, hell, even normal people in your house sneak up behind you or something, you're not paying attention. Yeah, you can get startled. Of
Oh,
course,
yeah.
like what you
I
said,
mean,
Boomer,
that's
you
just
wake up,
human
you got
nature.
something a foot away from you. Right.
That's
So
a natural defense to startle. You know. Yeah.
Does that scare you? Shit with eyes?
Hey, look, it's a big pile of shit and shit.
he's
We were talking about you earlier, Eddie, about your remark. No, it was yesterday, last night. We were making remarks about the. I got Diane saying it now in the chat. She's using that term and shit. I go, yeah, Eddie has a field day on me when I do it.
Hey, it's just every time you say something, you always add a and shit. I'm eating some tacos and shit. You eating tacos and shit?
I said I didn't have time to scream. I would have been
Yeah,
online.
it does sound kind of funny when you say something like, "Oh, I gotta go ride my bike and shit." Like, well, how do you do that? You know,
What do you do? Stick your butt off to the side while you're riding?
yeah, they got bags for horses. Why not? Right.
right?
Right, they got bags for horses.
Bitch, please.
Let me ask you something, Keith.
Yes.
What advice would you give someone who thinks they've encountered the same thing?
Is you talking the paranormal or cryptid
No,
stuff?
cryptid. Ghost.
Cryptid stuff.
I was gonna say ghost,
Run.
Dogman.
dogman, Bigfoot,
right.
any kind of cryptid.
Um, after the fact, if they run across something like that, um, just know that you're not the only one that's run across this,
Mm-hmm.
and also know too that there is a support group out here for people that have run across that. So that's where you have to use your discernment and everything like that, because you don't want to uh, get into some groups that go, well, yours isn't real because mine was better. When it, a cryptid
Right.
pissing contest. You don't want any people like that. But if anybody was to have an encounter like this, pick a critter. It's up to you.
Right.
And just
I ain't
definitely
worried.
make sure, don't let it eat you up. And I mean that in a metaphorical sense, psychologically,
Right.
don't, or spiritually, don't let it eat you up. There's more people out here than probably even all of us here know, even including some of the other groups that we talk about. There's probably more people that are afraid to talk about this because uh, they don't want to be ridiculed or anything like that. What I would suggest is if they have to get this stuff off their chest, do so.
Right.
But come to a place like Eddie and Jen, Texas Front Porch, Bigfoot, Michigan Rob, Blondes and Booze, somebody like that. Even with Vic or whatever on Dogman Encounters, go to a place where you're not going to get judged. And how I did with my stuff, again, it was 30 plus years before I told anybody really of it. It's like anything else. You shop, and what I
Right.
mean by that is you watch different podcasts. You can pick up on people's egos quick,
That's true.
especially if they do live shows like this or whatever. You
Mhm.
pick up on it, and if there's something that's not, if it's rubbing you the wrong way, get out of it. Come to a place like this where you're not going to get laughed at unless you make some stupid comments, like
Right.
whatever. But in fun and joking around or whatever.
Right.
But you come to a place, exactly, Lisa, and that's a big thing. She says, if I'm judged, I don't care. Yes,
You shouldn't be judged.
and that's
Right.
I got a saying that I use around here with certain people. I got this saying. It's called F people, and I mean
Right.
that
Right.
because there are dipshits out there that are not. They're going to treat you like garbage. They're going to laugh at you.
Yep.
And it is what it is. You don't waste your time dealing with those people. Come to a place that's going to have a good support group that will listen to you.
Right. And we're
You
one of
know,
them.
If you go to
right,
one
right,
And I-
judging you, then they weren't a great site to go to in the first place.
right.
Can
So,
I
and
add
that's the
something
thing.
to that as well?
Go ahead, Boomer.
Like, because this holds true for just about any kind of phenomena that deals with supernatural, paranormal, or what have you. If you're speaking basically about what to do during an encounter, if you encounter something, first thing you got to remember is don't automatically demonize it.
Yes.
That's your worst mistake. Don't take it as a negative thing immediately. Take time to, now if you feel threatened, yeah, get the fuck out of there, because your body's going to tell you whether you're in a danger zone or not.
Right.
If you get that feeling like something just ain't right, yeah, get out of there, but do it in a nice, respectful way that isn't gonna piss off whatever the hell's there. But don't jump to conclusions and automatically demonize it and make matters worse,
Right.
because you can escalate it and turn it into something it shouldn't have turned into.
Right. Very
Right.
true.
And then one thing is, I think his Mom of an Angel had said earlier when we were talking about some of this stuff about praying for the negative stuff. I think it had to do with someone getting something followed home from a hospital or whatever. And she had made the point of, you have to have your faith if you're praying for this stuff to get away from you or anything like that. Make
Mhm.
sure you do that too. But you got to make sure you're firm and you truly believe what you're praying for.
Right.
Don't be one of those people that go, I pray that you get out of here and blah blah blah.
Right.
And then the thing
Mhm.
disappears. You know, I pray to God that you leave and
Right.
I banish you. And then when something leaves, go, God, who? You
Right.
don't do that. Yeah,
Right.
no. And then he'll be like, oh yeah, watch this.
Right.
You know. So
What you talking about, Willis?
yep, exactly. I can picture that little head shake and everything from Arnold. Yep. But
Little
yeah,
Patty,
that's
I was gonna say,
go
little
ahead.
Patty said, she lets out secrets in these live chats that I haven't told my best friends. Lisa J said, when I say something, if I see or hear something, someone looks at me funny. I don't care. I believe in the paranormal. Call me crazy.
Cray,
Call
cray.
me cray cray. My feelings don't get hurt. You know what?
Right.
Let me tell you something, Lisa. I was just like you. I was just like everybody else. A lot of people didn't believe, especially a lot of black people don't believe in ghosts. We believe, I believe it when I see it. Well, I seen it. So now I'm a believer. Just like the monkey said, now I'm a believer. I just don't sing the song. Then I saw her face. It is kind of like that song though. Then I saw her face. So now I'm a believer. Seeing is believing.
Yeah,
So
one thing that I've done with some people that I've discussed this for, and Lauren has some friends that were on this list, is I told them, and I basically, in a way, they won't laugh at me or anything like that because they think for some reason I'm going to put them in my crawl space. That's a waste of good food. Why would I do it? But anyway, you're looking if
Wait.
they caught that, huh?
Yeah.
But it's the thing is when you get people that doubt you like this, especially if they're like friends or something like that, be like, yeah, okay, whatever. But would you like to come out with me and see? Man, 100% of the time it's, oh man, I'm good. Well, come on, I'm bullshitting you. I'm bullshitting you. I'm just lying, right? You said
Mhm.
they don't exist. Come out here with me. Let's go take a walk in the woods in the middle of the night.
Right.
10 times out of 10, they don't want to play that.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was one of the groups, I had mentioned earlier. They kind of said stuff about me a little bit with the Dogman Encounters, but when they had that shadow figure here month and a half or so ago coming after them in their bedroom, things kind of changed after that. They got a little new perspective on things. So just you can play with the doubters, man. That's fun.
Right.
Yeah.
And Andrew said, I'm glad we can come here, have fun, and listen to the guests. That's because we want you to have fun. We want to keep you entertained while, trying to spit facts to you. What people see, what people may have heard, and just have fun with it, at the same time. And there's no judgment. This is a judgment-free zone here, so you won't have to worry about being judged here. The same with Boomer. He does not judge you. Same with Christina and Son.
Wait, how come every
Dog,
time I come up here, you play that tune? Here come the judge.
Yep, here comes the judge. Here comes the
Hey,
judge.
Eddie, got a question
Can play
for
that.
you. Behind your stairs,
Uh-huh.
is there another room? Was there somebody just walking back there?
No.
No, I just caught somebody. It looked like they were walking from what I see on the screen. It would be, yeah, on your left shoulder from about center where that tall brown thing is, heading towards the right. It looked like somebody was just walking there.
Now,
I
I will
just caught it. It
say,
was just like it wasn't a shadow, but it was almost transparent, unless
we
it was a
do,
camera glitch.
we do have paranormal things happen here. I won't lie about that. I'll just say that it was a camera glitch, because I don't want
Sure.
people to say, oh,
I
they,
didn't want to spook you or nothing, but I just
no,
caught it.
no.
I'm like, oh, that looks kind of weird.
No, we've had stuff fall off shelves on a live stream. We've had stuff fall in the garage on a live stream. Stuff that happened in our living room. And it would be on a live stream. And the only thing I can tell people is, I told you,
Or go back. Hello.
and or go back and
So-
look ourselves. So yeah, you might have. I'll just say it's a camera glitch. Because I don't want anybody to say that I'm trying to pitch us out there of being paranormal, this, that, and the other. And no, I don't want to be a liar or none of that.
I wish I still had all that footage from that night that I
Yeah,
just mentioned earlier. Like it was freaky.
yeah. Boomer also got some good stuff at his place.
Yeah.
You know, as a matter of fact, y'all need to also make sure you subscribe to Boomer D, especially when he goes live and he has his cameras on. Because when he's watching his house, and I'm telling you, he got some good stuff. It doesn't happen all the time, but when it does happen, it catches him off guard.
I've had very, very little activity in the last couple of years, in fact. I can't explain what that's all about, but I've been here 15 years, and in those 15 years, I've had 6 events that were caught on my security cams, and only 3 of them exist now. So
Lisa asked, Eddie, do y'all have another family member who was walking around before down the stairs?
That's
7.
probably Tony.
That might have been Tony.
But Tony's not down there. He's
Right, but
upstairs.
Tony's upstairs in his room. I think they're looking at SummerSlam because the second part of SummerSlam was tonight too. So they might be watching that and baseball. So I don't know,
Who knows?
but I'm not gonna lie to you. Um, oh, I'll get back to what I was gonna say. If you could go back to a moment of let me reword this a different way. If you can go back, no,
At that
do you
moment,
plan
would
to?
you handle it differently?
Yeah, would you? Well, okay, if you can go back, well, see, he doesn't know what the question was, though, for me to ask that.
What am I?
So let's say, for an example, you went back to that house.
Or if you experience
If you, let's say you go there during the day, have you ever thought about instead of just driving by it, walk by it?
No, I have my limits, and as I no, I mean, if I'm gonna walk by that, Pappy gonna be packing a fucking flamethrower to it. But but no, it's just no, seriously, no, I wouldn't do that. But you know what I'm saying? It's just there's something about it, and it goes right back to the Dogman type stuff too. Is and I've had I wouldn't say they were tarot people, but they were kind of sensitive like this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that I picked up on, and they kind of confirmed it, but I didn't tell them what I was picking up on. But
Mm-hmm.
whatever them idiots unleashed in that house, the dogmen, I guess, keep it in the house. If that's does that make sense? It's like they guard against it.
that,
It's like you hear about how you run across dogmen that'll run along the fences of graveyards and stuff like that. I think it falls in the same line of that. It's almost like the dogmen, yes, big, mean looking, intimidating as all get out, but they do not like whatever was there.
the last time we did this, that was the one question I forgot that I wanted to ask before, and you just remind me of it.
Sure.
Do you believe that Dogman could be a guardian of some sort, like the Hellhound entity? Like, are they there for a specific purpose? Because, like you said, it seems they're migrational, and it seems like they pretty much primarily stay within that one particular area. Like in all the groups that people have cited them, they all cite them in specific areas. Like,
Right.
do you think that maybe they're there for that purpose? There's something there that they're protecting the community from, or something like that?
Or keeping them.
Yes, I believe that there's something to that. Now, have I witnessed that? No. So I can only give you my opinion on it. Now, as far as that house, yeah, I think they at least to up to some point they have um, kept in whatever was in there. They didn't allow it to leave, but they also, from my experience, they have kept me away from it. And it's like one of those things that kind of reminds me of my dad would say, stay away from there. I ain't gonna tell you again.
Right, right.
And anybody that's had a
And I'm one of
hard
those guys.
dad in their life, they understand that. Right, right. So that's I think it's very possible that they do that stuff, especially with the along the graveyards. Now,
Mhm.
I did experience one way, or at one point, my buddy had said out towards the White Lake, fucking what is that? White Lake Cemetery, that he saw something running alongside of that fence at night when he was driving. So I went out there, and what I did is, yeah, I saw something, but the thing was, it would change shapes. And what I picked up on was that it picked up on if my high beams were on, if my low beams were on, and where I was exactly positioned in the road to change it to that shape. So in a way, I kind of debunked that one. Is yeah, it looked like something was running, but when I would change, you know, going over towards the center lane or going over towards the fog line, it would change its shape or its speed, and depending on uh, whether or not my high beams were on or low beams were on or whatever the case was, it would also change at that point as well. So I'm not saying that's what people are experiencing, as I don't want to. Lisa J. Skinwalker, glad you brought that up. I just saw that in comments. I'm going to come up to something into that. But those, I I debunked it for myself, not for what everybody else. I can't speak for everybody else. I won't do that. That's just, to me, it's disrespectful.
Hi, Kim.
Now, now on that thing with Lisa J saying Skinwalker. Now, let's get to where I'm living now. This happened, oh man, was it last year? This gets more into the paranormal stuff. And I saw something at the house. There's a couple instances here. I let the dogs out one night and I brought them in. And this was
Wait, who let the
wintertime.
dogs out?
Who? Who?
Who,
Okay.
who?
I'm sorry.
There you go. You're good. I walked right into that one.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I'm terrible. I know. I'm sorry.
That's all good. Oh, so yeah, actually, this was on part of when I did Vic show in 23. So it was actually back then. Um, it was winter time. So it was, yeah, it was like December of 23. I have the solar powered motion lights out in parts of my woods and everything like that. And dogs decided to come in real quick about something. And I stepped out. I was out on the porch and I stepped down onto the driveway, and one of my motion lights triggered. That's in my woods. That's alongside the house. Now it's too far for me to trigger it. Okay, keep that in mind. It's too far away. I'm about 10, 15 feet outside of that. Something triggered it, and when it triggered, uh, out from behind this small tree. I would almost say it was a freaking portal from how this thing kind of stepped out, but it stepped out from behind the tree. The tree's maybe tops 8 inches in diameter.
Holy
This
shit, that's
thing,
what I had in my head.
this thing stepped. There you go. This thing stepped out from behind the tree, and it was a long, lanky, gray humanoid figure. It was muscular, but it was real slender. It was kind of ripped. I think how I explained it is almost like how Bruce Lee's bodies was.
Right.
Bruce Lee's body is or was, or and it had but it had the long, lanky arms, long claws on its hands, and it had a deer's head. Okay, but it had this gray over it that almost looked like how the antlers are when the felt is on the deer's antlers. All right, anybody know that? It's like almost like like, like that light gray color. Its whole body was this color. And I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm looking at this thing, and it didn't have eyes, but the felt went over its eyes. It was nothing. It was like really weird. It was like this whole thing was in this gray felt color. But the weird thing is that when it kind of stepped out, it kind of did one of these things, like it was like whatever doorway that it came out of was too short, and it had this thing on its head that looked like a bunch of thorns. Now people say, "Oh, skinwalker, like the antlers or whatever." Like most people, this thing, what it looked like was, if you get into religion, the Catholics, I think it's the bishops that wear the miters, them in the real long, tall hat type things. If people know what I'm looking at, but it was all thorns, and even at this distance, I could see it. It was probably 20, 25 feet away from me, and this thing walked out. It paid me no mind. It didn't even as much as glance my way. This thing walked out, and from the one tree to the next tree where this went, it walked. It was probably just over 25 feet. I measured it, and it was enough. It was solid enough that it actually triggered the second light on that second tree. And it walked in towards that tree and just kind of fizzled out like the predator would. It was like that. And when I measured it the next day, where its head was equal to the bottom of where I had this motion sensor at. And I had that motion sensor measured at 83 inches, which is 1 inch short of 7 feet.
Wow.
This was one of the fucking freaky things I've ever seen. It didn't come after me. It didn't pay me any attention. I don't know what it is. Thank God I've only seen it once. Now,
no, tree, what do they call it? Tree, cryptid. It's like a tree cryptid.
I have no idea, but it looked like a deer's head, but its eyes were forward facing, so it was like predatory. I think it was one of the things that really caught my attention. I was like, "Whoa, they're not on the side; they're like face forward." I mean, just like we are.
Like imagine, like if anybody's seen the movie, or this new show, oh, what's that about the little boy, the deer boy or whatever. Kind of looks like that.
I was gonna say Leprechaun.
I wish I could remember what show that is. It's a new show. But it's about these different type of human animal creatures, and the main character is a little boy, but he has deer antlers.
I've never heard of that.
Like the face, like the eyes face forward, like a human's would, right? But it had other features of a deer.
Let me see, like this.
I'm trying to get a good idea of what you're.
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
Those are called deer cryptids.
Yeah, kind of weird looking like that, but it didn't have that crazy of a body as far as like the length of the arms or anything. It wasn't hunched over. This was straight up. And then the thing, like I said, with the thorns on its head, it took me years to figure it out, but it's called a mitre. It's what the Catholic religious folks wear. And it was very geometrically shaped. It wasn't crazy off the wall, weird or anything like that. This had a definite shape to it. And I think someone put on there, was asking if I was scared with it. I was like, what the hell is that? And I just sat there and watched it. But when it went away, I just kind of went, that's weird. God, I hope I never see that again. I walked back inside. Now around, I don't know if it was close to the same time. I think the wife, she had a bad dream, a very vivid bad dream. And what had happened in that is there was something scratching on our window. Now we have a tri-level house. And there was something scratching on the window of our bedroom on the top level. And she said it was some weird, fucked up, demonic looking thing or whatever. And it kept trying to get her to come closer in this dream. And at one point it reached its hand out and she reached her hand out to grab this thing's hand, and she woke up out of a sleep, and it spooked her. Okay. Now, that was at early morning. Then she had this dream. Now, she's a 9 to 5 girl. She got up, she went back to sleep or whatever, and she got up same day to go to work, and she was walking out to the car. It's 8:15 or so, or whatever time that she was leaving in the morning. So it was daytime or whatever. And out of the corner of her eye, she looked, and oddly enough, in that same area where I saw that deer-looking thing with the religious hat on or whatever, she saw what appeared to be a large black wolf on all fours, not cryptid or anything like that, but just a large wolf on all fours. And it was almost as tall as she is, and she's 5'7". And then she caught it, looked at it, and it just kind of walked a couple steps or whatever and disappeared. And that was all in the same time.
Wow.
So I don't know, paranormal stuff. Now, as far as like the Dogman type things, see, it was more human. It was more humanoid than that picture that you had there already.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
what
it
about
stood up
that
like
one to the left. The top left, they call that a Wendigo, but
yeah, it's not. It
does
wasn't
look like
hunched
that?
over like
That's
that.
more humanoid.
It had. Oh, wait a minute.
That's so humanoid.
Okay, so that's the one that says it costs $9.99. It's something. Is it's
Yeah.
underneath? Yeah, that one. It
Yes.
was. Yeah, it was kind of like that, but it had a deer's head. Because to me, that looks like one of them freaking ogres from Lord of the Rings or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, it didn't come out. You see how the antlers are? These didn't do that. This came right straight off the top of its head. It had an actual shape. It looked like it was a separate piece.
Why
It
am I
was
sitting
almost
here trying to scroll?
But yeah, so that there is, it kind of had that body. It was a little more slender than what that thing was, but it wasn't hunched over. It walked like we would. And it, the thing on its head, it was almost like it was a ceremonial piece.
Hmm.
It is really strange. And then as far as here, yeah, we got some paranormal stuff. But that's, I mean, everybody's had that. And then we had one night where I had smelled this nasty stench of death, I guess it would be. It was like rotted meat,
Now I
rotted
catch
blood,
that
whatever the
scent
case
every now
was.
and again.
And I heard something outside of our window again, heavily breathing. And this is like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And it woke me up. It was breathing so heavy. It was almost vibrating at the window. And it was one of those things, is like where the foot of our bed is. I can sit on the end of our bed and I'll face that window, and then the window's whatever, 3 feet away from me. And I could feel the vibration of this thing rattling the windows. It was crazy. I don't know what that was, but I was wide awake for that, sitting there waiting for something to come through that freaking window and pull me down.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then I had made mention to it to Monica Rollins, and I told her what was going on, and I forgot what the comments were, but it was still, that was really weird. I don't know what that was, but that was a very deep, bassy breathing. I mean, it was like a labored, bassy breath of some sort. So obviously, we're up on the top level of the house. It wasn't somebody just hanging off of one of my trees breathing.
Wow. Man, that's a trip.
Yeah, tell me about it. I know, and due to the issues I had, the health issues, I don't know when I sleep. As far as, I could be up for an hour, or I could be up for 2 days. I don't know, or when I'm sleeping, I don't know. So I was fully awake listening to this thing, and yeah, it was nuts. But
Steph,
as far
I'm
as
sorry.
far as, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just realized somebody was in here. Steph, I am so sorry. Welcome to the chat.
Acknowledge me.
I'm sorry.
You good?
Now, as you were saying,
Yeah. So now, as far as I know, you may want to get this onto a different show or whatever the case is, where we can discuss a little bit of it. A lot of the other stuff that I have experienced, it wasn't visual on the Dogman stuff, but there's been a couple other instances that happened, but it got tied into some paranormal things.
right.
Now, I don't know if you want to keep that for tonight or if you want to keep that for another show. It won't take a lot of time or whatever the case is, but I mean, it's some things that had happened. Again, a lot of it happened back in that July of 04, from July to that December. So if that's stuff you may want to get into at some point, that includes what I thought was possession.
Right.
Yeah, twice. But talking with Tex and Brandy, Brandy was thinking it was more some type of spiritual. Wasn't possession, but there was something spiritual going on.
I use the
That
word
was
spiritual manipulation, where they can manipulate your mind. They can get into your mind and manipulate your actions and stuff.
hmm
I've had that happen. I've seen other people who's had that experience too. That's what I always
Okay.
refer to it as. It's not
All right.
necessarily
So
being possessed, but
right. Yeah, this was different. It was probably on that line. I don't know because my ass was asleep for the whole thing. But I will give this one to you tonight, just something to think about there. This was that summer of 04, and a girl I was seeing or whatever, we had gone to sleep, and it's out there in that Highland area, and her room was dark. I mean, the only thing that was going on was just she had even like the blackout curtains and everything like that, and basically the only light you had in that place was the lights off of our phones charging. That was it. So we had gone to sleep, and I ended up getting kicked in the chest from her. Now, how did that happen? Was everything's good to sleep, and at some point I had gotten up, and on her the footboard of her bed were large orbs, like large wooden orbs. I mean, they were decent size. They were bigger, a little bit bigger than a softball would be. And I was actually, hey Rob,
Bigfoot
hey,
Mr.
speaking of
Rob is
devil.
in the house.
Hey, Rob.
Acknowledge me.
I'm sorry.
oh that's cool. I was checking out that picture. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
it's got a human
I don't.
body.
Yeah, I don't need any more tattoos. Okay.
Yeah.
But but yeah, this was crazy. We had gone to sleep, and at some point, this is how I got the boot to the chest early in the morning. Was I had gotten up, I don't know when, don't know how, why, anything like that. But the girl I was dating, she had woken up. Is kind of boomer, like what you said. You get that feeling like something's watching you. And this is what she had. But when she had woken up, I was actually perched on that orb or ball or whatever it was on the foot end of her bed, on both hands and feet, perched like a freaking gargoyle, staring at her. My eyes were glowing blue, and I was speaking in a language that I have no idea. And the only way I knew what was going on is about a half an inch or so before her foot made contact with my chest, is I woke up right there. It was like that, wake up, oh, bam. And then my ass went flying off the bed. Good morning, asshole. But yeah, it scared the hell out of her. And I said, what did you do that for? She's like, you know what you were doing? I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, you were perched on the end of the bed like a effing gargoyle. Your eyes were glowing this bright blue. That's how I mentioned before with the Dogman, with the sky blue sapphire or sky blue topaz. It was basically described to me in that same color. And I was speaking some weird language to her. I don't know any of it. No clue. Last I knew, I went to bed and woke up mid-flight.
Hello,
Hi,
Mickey.
Mickey.
Hi, Mickey.
You woke up saying a language you never spoke and didn't even know that you were saying it.
Yeah, it wasn't native or anything like that. It was something, if I had to guess, was ancient, but I don't know. I wish I could tell you guys. Even at points, I wish I could tell you I was just bullshitting, but no.
I wonder if
take
it may have had a connection with like some sort of elemental spirit or something.
Yeah, I have no idea, but
I mean, because that's what gargoyles are, basically, I guess, is some sort of elemental, I think.
yeah, I don't know nothing about them.
I mean, the fact that you're up in that position with the glowing eyes, that sounds more than just your typical paranormal event. I've never heard of anything like that. Like anybody who's ever discussed like just a regular spiritual manipulation, like they don't change their features, they're like they don't glow their eyes or anything like that. It's just them being manipulated by something. Yeah, it doesn't sound like a possession, but it sounds like something was in you that was different from your typical paranormal type stuff. That's for sure. Because I've never heard
that's a good point on that. And it's like I hate saying possession because of like what you said. Everybody goes, "Oh, I'm crawling up the walls, my head's spinning around in circles." Yeah, no, it wasn't like that. But I don't know what it is, or what it was at that point. Now I've had a couple other instances.
Yeah, Christina said not always. Sometimes earth elementals will take that form. A gargoyle are their own beings, and they are like watchers of the land. So some kind of nature beings.
They're protectors.
Yep. And again, this is in that Highland area. That's where the Highland White Lake area is where my First Nations ancestors kind of hung out at. So it might be one of them things is where, kind of maybe tied to it to some extent, or they know me through ancestral connection or whatever. Real quick,
Native Americans totems. You know how they carve the totems as the totem animal or whatever is kind of in that position like that. So that kind of
that's a good point. That's a good point.
Native American related.
Have a good night, Steph. Oh yes, real quick.
Brother Rob, BMR. Make sure you give me a text or call me or whatever whenever. It's no big deal, and then we'll go over that stuff that I dropped you that text on, so we can make sure you get your stuff taken care of in what is that, September. He knows what I'm talking about. So
thank you so much, Rob. You didn't
Thanks,
have
Rob.
to, but you did. I am so glad you did that. Thank you so much, sir. And that might not mean nothing to a lot, but for my boys, that means a lot. Thank you so much.
They'll get their trip to Disneyland some point.
Because that's what we're trying to say for them going to Disney.
Are you having any luck on your trans?
Well, here's the good thing. Now that you mentioned that, I was going to say that at the beginning, and I lost track of train of thought. We got the transmission. So that's
excellent.
The downside now is we got to get it put in the truck. And that's the guy gave us a deal to put it in the truck. And normally, a lot of these places are going to charge anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500.
Just for install?
Yep, just for the install. This guy
I'll do it for pizza and a 6-pack.
Well, the guy that we got said he will do it for $800.
Nice.
Oh, that's decent. Yeah.
And I would have to take it to a dealer to do
the relearn. He said we'll have to get the relearn for it and everything at a dealership or something like that. But he can put it in with no problem. for $800.
Oh, so it needs an
Nice.
alignment as well.
No. A
Oh,
relearn
reprogramming.
is to reprogram the computer.
Oh, that. Okay, that. part.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we would have to take it to the dealership and have a
Yeah.
relearn done. But he said he'll have no problem putting it in for 800. But he can't go under that, and he doesn't want to go above that because of us having special needs kids. That's why he's doing it like a discount like that. Otherwise, anybody else, because he has a
That
garage,
is a good deal.
right? And it's at a
Yeah.
garage, and he'll even come get it and tow it to his garage. You know,
Yeah,
but
up here that's $3,000 or $4,000 easy.
right. Anybody else though, he wants $2,500.
Yeah.
So
That's
that's
a little bit of a blessing. Got to take it. Love it.
I did. I took it. I told him as soon as we get that 800 up, we're gonna take the truck and get it up there.
Good.
So we do have the transmission. So that's half the battle. It's
Yeah, I was
sitting-
kind of wishing you guys would be able to make it to Missouri.
believe me too.
Oh man, but we'll
Believe
get together.
What's going
yeah.
on in Missouri?
me.
They,
Oh.
they have a paranormal and cryptid conference coming up in Richmond, Missouri. I think it's like the 18th or 19th or something like that in September. It's grown in size substantially since they first mentioned this. I think it was back in November or whatever.
Mhm.
If you're interested, Boomer, just checking it out. You'll hear like Tex and them guys and BMR and the girls talk about that all the time. It's what's that, Crossing Realms Conference? I think it's what it's called. But they got a lot of, we'll say, the who's who of this type of community and research coming there. It's pretty big.
I
So.
know I wanted to go. I wanted to meet Bigfoot Michigan Rob. I wanted to meet him so bad. Man, it's gonna, you know what? I it's like I told people before, you know, when God's ready for us to meet people, he'll put us in their direction.
Yep. But I tell you, Rob's a definite blessing to me over here because outside of doing that one with Vic or whatever in
Mhm.
23, he's the one I reached out to and responded out of a few people. We were talking about earlier with egos and everything, but Rob reached back to me and put me on his show, and him and his crew and everybody that's associated with him has been nothing but a blessing from there on out. So kudos to him. And if anybody's not watching or is not subscribed to their shows, get on board with them. Especially, I think we
Yes.
talked about, if people have these types of experiences or whatever,
Yes, and
Rob would be like on point. Tex would be on point
Bob and
for
Tex,
sharing your
love these guys.
experiences.
Uh,
Yes, absolutely.
yes, and there's the conference right there. But
Oh, thanks, Rob.
Rob, I want you to put your link in also because I want people to come by and have the Bigfoot Michigan Rob experience because you have a really, really great channel. You have great guests that comes on, and I love listening to you. You, Tex, Monica, Blondes and Booze, um, Danny Choi. I love listening to you guys. You know, and I know I missed a few people. I know I missed a few, but just put your link in there so that people can come by and check you out too. Because every now and then I try to make my way over. I haven't been on hardly anybody's lately, because I've been working my tail off trying to get money, that's how we got that transmission. We had to sacrifice to where we had to cut off food and stuff like that just to get this transmission. So I thank God I got half the battle done, and oh,
Oh,
bro,
wow.
you did not have to do that. Rob, you did not have to do that, really, man.
Well, thank you much, Rob.
Thank you
See,
so
this is what I am talking about with these type of people here, with this group. This shows it. And I'm not saying money is everything like that, but they care
Right.
about each other. Man, you don't get that in some of these big name places,
No, you
or researchers or whatever. This is, again, if anybody has their experiences, they're afraid to get it out because they may be shunned or made fun of. No, this is what I'm talking about right here. This is a prime example of it. You look at chat, you look at the crews that have these shows. This is phenomenal. Thanks, Rob.
No, no, Bob, we are grateful. You did not really have to do that. If you want, hey, just $2 a month and become a member of the channel. That would have been better, you know. Uh, but I mean, I thank you. I really do. I don't want anybody to think that we're asking, we're eBaying and none of that. We don't do that. Uh, we also tell people give because you want to, not because you had to. But we just love having you as a part of our family. You know, and that's how we are. And we support everybody, you know. So because that's what we are. We're about love and positivity, and we always pay it forward. So I appreciate that, Rob. Thank you so much. It will go to our boys, you know, and that's for sure. Um, wow, that just that caught me off guard, man. For real. Boomer did that to us once. Caught us off guard. Yeah, don't even think we forgot about that, Boomer, when you did it.
Yeah, Richmond's a little further away than I can walk, so just looking at that site. So
Anybody have any more questions for Keith? And if you have a channel, I want you to put your links in so that we can pay that love forward. And I really mean that. Go by Boomer. Are you gonna be going live next tonight? Or
no, after this, I'm gonna be enjoying my new mattress. That's what I'm gonna be doing.
hey, finally,
I'll be
Boomer
spending
is
my
off
first
the
night
floor.
on my new mattress.
Boomer is finally off the floor and he's sleeping on a real mattress. One of these days, he's gonna get a box spring and it's gonna be lifted off the floor.
Well, I
No, I'm joking, Boomer.
my new bed frame will be here Wednesday, so I'll have everything all together by Wednesday. So,
Well, that's a blessing.
You're welcome, Jason.
this thing's
Nikki
a
G
beauty.
says,
It's
I
like
don't have
sleeping on a cloud.
I don't have content, so I'm good. Yeah, if anybody has a channel, I want you to put your links in, you know, but I just want y'all to know that we love you guys, man. We love each and every one of you. There's no judgment here. No judgment whatsoever.
Yeah, I'll
You're
just type
always
in
welcome.
there and
Lisa said, I am slowly working on my lifetime roses and the unknown on Facebook. Well, let us know. If you have a link for
Oh,
your
I'll still like-
Facebook page, put that in.
Oh,
You know, you can do that. Mary, if you want to put your link in, put your link in. Beth, put your link in. You know, I just want to thank Andrew, or not Andrew. I don't know why. I was looking at Andrew. I'm sorry. I want to thank Keith so much for coming back for part 2. If ever I have a panel, Keith, and you have nothing to do, and we having a panel,
it gotta be a part 3.
there will be a part 3.
yeah, we can get into some of that paranormal stuff, man. There's some pretty trippy stuff on the paranormal. I think you guys would be happy with. Now, it's not going to be a however how long, hours long type, thing like with the Dogman, but it is some pretty interesting stuff. And yeah, it'd be pretty cool. Cool. Whenever you want, just text me,
Yeah.
and I'm available at any time, since this, unfortunately, since with my medical health stuff, I haven't been able to, basically retired. Let's say that.
Right.
And so you can contact me anytime, day, night, whatever. Even if it is you just want to call up and say hi or something like that, I'll shoot the shit with you or whatever. You guys are always in my thoughts and prayers and stuff like that. Especially with the boys and everything. So
Well,
call me anytime.
I will. I'm not a bugaboo because I got Boomer's number. I haven't called him yet. I don't really bug anybody. Like I myself and my wife and my boys, we stay in our lane. So every time we come home, when I go to DoorDash, when I was DoorDashing, I take the whole family. So and every time we do something, we try to do it as a family. And I don't do it separately. Every now and then I'll go out and film a video by myself because it gets like 102 to 108 degrees here in San Antonio.
Ooh.
So the boys I don't want them to get overheated and all that. So I'll go out myself. And but yeah, we don't go out and do all this. We just stay home. You know,
Right.
I work, come home. That's it. You know.
So also too, Eddie, what we were talking about earlier, you possibly coming up this way at some point, which is fine. I would obviously suggest the fall time. It's a lot nicer, and we can get out more and not get overheated.
It's probably gonna be
Also,
about
too,
that.
there's and then you got hotels near me, probably 15 minutes away,
Mhm.
and then the other direction in the other county over, there's hotels to stay in. All of them are about within 10 to 15 minutes away from them hot spots that I was telling you. Then who knows? Maybe you can also work out something with Mr. BMR here since he's in the neighborhood slightly. And maybe we can all get together at some point and go check this stuff out. And, maybe we can go chew on some dead cow on a plate or something like that and
That's
shoot the shit. It would be fun.
That sounds interesting. Swamp Dog Overlord or Overland Adventures. Welcome
Howdy.
to chat.
Acknowledge me.
You have been acknowledged. I'm sorry, sir, the show is starting to end, but you know what? Just in case you ever come back, I'm going to give you a blue wrench so that if you come back, this is like the Olive Garden. When you're here, your family, you're part of us. We're more than happy to have you. Boomer, what you got coming up?
Sleep.
That's great. Everybody want to watch
I'm
Boomer
pretty
sleep?
sporadic with my streams, but I'm definitely gonna make it a point to do Saturday so we can discuss that.
Okay. Yeah,
what
yeah,
we
I
touched
definitely
on
want to talk
earlier.
about that.
So
As a matter of fact, Swamp Dog, if you have a channel, put your link in, and that way people can come by and check you out. Because we're like the
Oh,
when you hear
see that real quick there. I see from Mary Bean is asking if the Dogman was by water, lake, or river. Yes. Oh, you know what? Crazy now that you mention that or ask that question. Yeah, now that I think about it, every time they've had it's either been on a lake or anything like that. And if anybody's interested to look at it again, it's Highland, Michigan. You can look them up on the little map things or whatever. You look roads up
I was
like
just looking at it earlier on
yeah,
Google Earth.
Livingston Road. Yep, Livingston Road, Milford Road. The hot spots, Boomer. If you're looking, it's on Livingston Road between Milford and Pettibone, and it's in that little Dodge 10 Park. That's a lot of where that stuff is happening. That whole length of that road is where a lot of that stuff happened. Rob knows what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
The Hickory Ridge Road, which is a little further west of there, is where I used to live, north of 59 in Bel Air. That's where my first run-in is with them. It was Hickory Ridge in Bel Air. All in there, you can check out the Kensington Metro Park, Indian Springs Metro Park, Highland Recreation Area. That's the one that Edsel Ford had for like vacation homes or whatever. There's some creepy stuff in there. I haven't run across them, like I said, but relatives have. And pretty trippy stuff. So again, if anybody's interested, they can look at that stuff. And when we get back onto the more paranormal stuff, I'll bring up Eleanor Street, which I think the address was like 135, whatever. But anyway, had some issues off of Eleanor Street, and that is right there at Milford 59 and all that Livingston. I think Livingston ends at one of it or something like that. So anybody wants to check those places out, check it out on the Google Maps or whatever. That'll give you an idea of what I'm talking about.
Right. And Swamp Dog said, I'm starting my channel this week. I've been on Bigfoot Society and Mystery Unknown podcast. Also, I have Jupiter and Cryptid podcast with Daniel Hamilton.
I've heard of
Awesome.
all of those, yeah.
Awesome.
That is awesome. Swamp Dog, can you put your link in so that people can come by and check you out? As a matter of fact, you know what? Let's take a look at Swamp Dog's channel.
He's starting his channel. He ain't started it yet.
Well, actually, I think he has a channel right here.
Yep. Also, it says Mary's asking a question about the Indian tribes. Yes, that would be part of my family. Not saying it was all of them, but for part of the family that's in that area is Potawatomi. I'm gonna say that twice fast. So yes,
Potawatomi?
Potawatomi
Potawatomi.
Indians are in that
Potawatomi.
area.
Potawatomi.
Beth's got a good point. At one time,
Yeah,
it was
all
all
of the
native
United.
land.
Yeah, that's right. Freaking Kree demons had to come in here and ruin shit. But,
Bricks.
Hi, Octavian.
Octavian, how are you doing, sir?
Acknowledge me.
That is Dolly's son right there. And I'm a let me see, AP.
yeah, it's some relatives walk on that trail. At least it was saying, yeah.
Okay, so this is I'm putting in right now Swamp Dog's channel. Go by, check him out. He only has 161 people. So
I
we got,
think everybody in here can fix that.
yeah, I want everybody to go over there
Swamp
and
dog. I don't have a
let's go
fucking
over
pen.
and hit that, and let's hit that subscribe button and show him some love.
Yeah, you're gonna put that in a link, right, Eddie? Because I don't
I
have anything to write on.
I
Oh,
sure
here we go.
did. I put it right in the link.
Swamp Dog Overland Adventure.
He said I had a Dogman Encounter live last night on Cryptid podcast with Daniel.
Whoa, really? Wow. We could get you up here. I'd like to get you up here, Swamp Dog, and talk about your encounter. That would be awesome. Just let me know. Bigfoot, as a matter of fact, there's Bigfoot Michigan Rob right there. Go by, check him out too. I have nothing but love for that man right there. Nothing but love. If you like Dusty Roads, you'll definitely love Bigfoot Michigan Rob. I'm just playing with you, Bigfoot Michigan Rob. But you do look like Dusty Rhodes. Okay. I don't want to. Cody was giving me updates on SummerSlam, and I don't want to spoil it. So if anybody hasn't seen it, if you've watched SummerSlam,
Email him.
okay,
Right there in the chat, the email.
I'll do that.
I
will
haven't
do
watched
that.
any wrestling since '94.
I know, I lost interest a long time ago when
Yeah.
all the old.
After Owen Hart died, I was like, "Yep, that's it for me."
Thank you, Mom of an Angel. She hit that love button for a Swamp Dog. Thank you so much. I hit it. I'm looking at one of his videos right now. Bigfoot Howl in West Side Park, Vineland, New Jersey. Wow.
That's awesome.
Wait, he's in New Jersey?
Yes, he's in New.
Yeah, he's just a few hours south of me.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I'd like to get you up here and we'll talk about your channel and show some video. That would be cool.
I was in New Jersey a couple years ago, and I don't recall seeing any swamps though. I smelled a whole lot of what they consider a garden.
Lisa J said, I used to live in New York. Boomer
New York
is in New
City
York.
or upstate?
Swamp Dog said Southern New Jersey Pine Barrens.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think I got that far in New Jersey.
No, as far as
Place
I've
I
been in
went
New Jersey,
to, the family lived. Single mother trucker, right?
yeah.
Eddie, you remember her?
Yeah.
I went down there to do that short investigation.
Mm-hmm.
That turned out to be 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a short over the weekend investigation. Turned out to be stuck in Jersey for 2 weeks. But yeah, she was just this side of the bridge, not like a 20-minute drive from what was that place we went to? The Red Hills, whatever, where they crossed the Delaware or whatever, and they
Right.
got this park there now that's some monument to the whole thing or whatever. So she's in that area. So yeah,
Now,
she didn't go too far south.
ain't that right when you went to is that after the new the YouTube fan meet that y'all had?
Oh yeah, that was the next month after our meetup in Gettysburg. Gettysburg was in October.
Right.
That next month, it was beginning of November or second week of November. I went down there and was down there for 2 weeks. So yeah. Keith,
Only
drop
Chris
your
said
link.
drop your link. I think the only
No.
link that he could drop, he can't drop because he's already married. But other than that,
Yeah, I do not have any social media.
Just type in the chat.
That's where I don't have any social media. I mean, after Facebook was a major component of the second wife getting booted.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
so
they
you know how
booted
that
me off
goes.
Facebook and Instagram for I don't
Uh,
know. Their excuse was I was going against their policies, but I haven't posted on Instagram and I don't know how long, and I haven't used Facebook for like 5 years, other than using the message services. So I don't know.
wife part 2 was bringing the friend requests home, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, fuck all that.
Octavian says, so how have you been, Eddie and Jen? We have been doing great, and I'm hoping that you are too, Octavian. As a matter of fact, Octavian, put your link in also. He said, I'm doing just fine. I'm just found both my grandma's phones. My brother Alex stole them, and my grandma is pretty mad. So, yeah, one of those days. Wow, I'm sorry that you had your phone stolen. Now, just to remind everybody, Octavian here, he's a teen, but Dolly's son, we've watched him grow up from when he was. It's still hard to believe he's as big as he is now. It's still hard to believe.
Octavius is Dolly's son?
Yes.
Oh, let me grab that one.
Yeah, and I can't believe how he grew up. The video that we did at one of Dolly's homes, because
he ain't got nothing.
it's called what was it
I'll
called?
subscribe anyway. I'm your second subscriber,
Uninvited.
Octavians.
Uninvited. It was called Unaccepted or Uninvited, something like that, where we went and did a spirit box session. Octavian's in that video, and look at how little he was then. And then if you was to see him now, that man's about 6 foot. What are you, about 6 foot what? I can't believe how big you done got.
Well, Doc said I'm doing a podcast. So we go from a Bigfoot theory.
Oh, okay. He's doing a podcast with McGill from Bigfoot Theory. Okay, got you. And Scott Altman, thank you so much for being here, sir.
Acknowledge me.
And for Octavian also.
Acknowledge me.
Well, I know I kept you guys on long enough, and I'm quite sure Keith got better things to do than to listen to us gab, because we've done enough. Before we go, you got anything going on, Keith?
Just a couple doctor's appointments coming up this week that I'm not looking forward to, but at least I'll be out cold for one of them. And that's about it. And then I know people are asking about my whatever you call that, my links or whatever the case is. I don't have them. However, if you get a hold of Eddie or whoever like that, if you want to shoot the shit on email or something like that, Eddie, by all means, you can give him my email address or whatever, and we can make some contact, and
Sounds good.
yeah, we can chat in that way. But yeah, like I said, I don't have any social
Oh.
media.
Okay, and Adam Hernandez, welcome to the chat, sir.
Acknowledge me.
You have been acknowledged. Last night live. Actually, we're getting ready to call it a night. But hey, we'd love to have you as part of our family. All you gotta do is just hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate that. Nothing but positivity here. Thank you so much, Keith, for coming up. Boomer
No
Thief,
problem.
thank you so
Good
much.
to see you again.
Here. It's always good seeing you. And
he makes
Yeah,
really
and
13
he's tall for,
And-
yes, he is for a 13-year-old. He is tall. Yes,
and
he
Boomer, it's good to see you again as well, sir.
Absolutely, bro. Ditto.
So
Always,
I want to
always a
say,
pleasure to share a panel with you.
and good night to everybody that's here in the chat, my members. We love you. Thank you so much for being so wonderful. And if you'd like to become a member, all it takes is just a couple bucks, $2 a month, will make you a member of our humble family. But you can still be a member of our family. Just make sure you hit that like button and just come and hit that subscribe button. That's all you got to do. And
As
we
Jason
really
said,
do
no.
appreciate Jason Finch. You want me to acknowledge you? I'm gonna acknowledge you.
Me.
You have been acknowledged, and
Acknowledge
I'll
me.
acknowledge you one more time. There you go. Thank you guys for so much for coming up. Kelly, I love you. I love you all. Mama of an Angel, Lisa J, Dolls Dolly, Jason Finch, Lunar Eclipse, Octavian. Thank you, Adam, for coming by. Swamp Dog. Let's see who else has got in here. Lisa J, Adventures with Beth. Let's see. Bigfoot Michigan Rob, we definitely love you, sir. Thank you so much. And we mean that from the bottom of our heart. Glenn, if you're still here, I doubt it. But if you are, Jason Finch, we love you, bro. Andrew, thank you so much for being here. Mickey G, we love you. And we love you all. Anybody that I may have missed, I apologize, but we love you anyway. Thank you so much for being here.
Good deal, Octavians.
Yes, good deal.
I'll be one of the first two to watch it.
God bless you guys. Have a great night. Stay blessed. See you next week. And
Much
keep your
love,
notifications
keep it
on.
real.
Keep your notifications on because I might go live again sometime this later in the week. But until then, stay blessed. Good
See ya.
night, everybody.